Hi guys, get ready with me while I tell you some things that my evil stepmom did to me when I was growing up. Okay, I met her when I was 8 years old. She had been my dad's ex-girlfriend before my biological mother. My biological mother died when I was very young. So I was happy that my dad was like messing around with women because I wanted a mom. Like as a young girl, I wanted a mother. I wanted to be able to make Mother's Day crafts and give them to my mom, but I never was able to. But, so I met her when I was about 8, and those are in like your development years, like, you know, you're a young little baby. But she made us call her mom. We only knew her for maybe about a year at that point, but we had to call her mom. And it was weird. It was weird because I was still like kind of upset with my dad because she was very invasive. Like she just wanted to be our mom. And it was like I just wanted my mom because I thought it would be nice, but she would just take control over everything we did. And it's like, bitch, you're not my mother. You're not my mom. Stop acting like my mom. But then shortly after that point, it was Christmas, and they pulled me into their room, and it's Christmas, like, morning, like, we all open presents, like, I'm like, oh, I'm special, like, I got my own gift, whatever, and they told me, my dad and her, told me she was fucking pregnant. What? You're pregnant? At that point, like, I was happy, like, it's like, okay, like, yay, like, a baby, like, oh, maybe a little sister, like, great, but it was also like, now we're stuck with you. You're pregnant, now we're fucking stuck with you. And we were. And after that, we moved in with her. We left my grandparents' house and we moved in with her. And it was a big thing because I was moving schools, I was leaving all my friends, like, it was a big thing. And I had resentment towards her because you're ruining my life. Like, you just swoop in and now we have to move with you just because you got fucking pregnant. Like, in a little fucking 8-year-old mind, like, I was being selfish, but it's also like, fuck you. But after that, we moved in with her and she just started turning into a complete cunt. And I think it's because she knew that she now had my dad on lock, and she would just start being mean and, like, yelling at us. And it started as yelling. It just started as yelling, and, like, her just being rude when my dad would leave or, like, go to this fucking garage to smoke a cigarette, and she would just be mean. And me, I'm, like, I think, like, 9 years old at this point, and my little brother was 5. Why are you yelling at a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old, and you're not even our mom? But throughout those, like, 7 years of meeting her, she would tell me that I am getting bigger, and that I need to stop eating so much. I was so skinny you could see my ribs poking through. I was skinnier than I am now. And I gained an eating disorder from that because it's like, if my mom is telling me that I'm fat, I have to be fat. Like, why would my mother say that if it wasn't true? So I gained an eating disorder, and then she would get mad at me because I wouldn't want to eat because I was fat, and then she would literally sit there and watch me eat, overeat. She used to make me before school. I don't eat breakfast before school. I'm not fucking hungry before school. I'm worried about getting ready, like, brush my teeth, like, yada, 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 like, all the fucking important shit. I can eat whatever. Lunch is at 10 a.m. I'm fine. But she would sit there and make me eat 2 bagels. Not 2 halves, 2 fucking bagels. And then I would fucking feel sick the whole day. Another rule that came with that was we could not use the bathroom while eating a meal, because in her head, we were going to the bathroom to spit it out. Like, and if we did go to the bathroom, we had to ask. And we had to, like, show her. What if I gotta piss? What if I'm literally about to fucking shit myself and I'm having explosive diarrhea and I shit? Okay. Another rule that I had was I wasn't allowed to wear shorts or tank tops around the house with my dad home. Not because, whatever, no, she was insecure and she said that's inappropriate and she would never dress like that in front of her dad. It's not like I'm walking around with my fucking thong and Victoria's Secret bombshell bra. I'm fucking in a tank top and shorts. Also, another thing that I want you to keep in mind, my dad had no idea of this. No idea of these rules, no idea of this behavior, because my stepmom told me that if we told him, he wouldn't believe us, number 1, and number 2, we would get in trouble. Because we were causing issues in their relationship. Okay. But okay, with those phone rules, we couldn't put it past 8 o'clock or we would literally get in so much fucking trouble. But I remember this one time, I was in trouble, so she made me put it away earlier. So I walked out and it was in this little drawer in our kitchen. It was like the electronic drawer, like we had to put all our electronics in there. But I did it. I was not even looking at her. I was looking straight and she was like, what the fuck was that? I didn't even do anything. Like, I swear to God, I didn't do anything. I was like, what was what? Like, and that is talking back to her, so I was in trouble. But she lunges at me, bro. From across the island. Like, she runs around and she grips me up by my neck and slams me against the fucking door leading into the garage. And at this point, I'm like, what the fuck do I do? My stepmom is sitting here with her hand around my throat. And apparently the reason was because I was so disrespectful and I was rolling my eyes at her. I did not roll my eyes at her, because every time I would roll my eyes at her, I would get slapped across the face. Why would I do that? I'm scared of you, why would I do that? Okay, side note, I'm really excited to see this girl with the color, like the main color, but, like, that completely threw me off, because she would, like, hit us and, like, say I would have a makeup headband on, and with a bow in it, she would literally rip the bow out and throw it and make me go get it, like a dog. Huh? Another thing, she would literally kick our dog's cage. Like, our dog would be barking and she would go over and fucking kick the cage with the dog in it. Yo. No. No. The dog's barking. She never barks. She's barking because there's someone at the door. That's what dogs do. If you didn't want a dog, like, if you didn't want something barking in the house, you shouldn't have brought a fucking dog. What? I don't know, she was just problematic and literally complained about everything. And I'm sure some of you guys have heard you guys don't help me in this house. That's so funny because when I try to help you, I'm not doing it up to your expectations, so then I get in trouble. I couldn't do anything without getting in trouble in that fucking house. But anyway, bringing it to baby number 2. It was the summer before high school. I'm pretty sure it was the night of my high school, like, orientation. And I was asking my parents what they think I'd be good at. And they were like, my dad was like, I know what you'd be good at. Being an older sister. Boy, I already am to 2 younger siblings. What the fuck are you talking about? And then he looked at my little brother and he was like, and I think you'd be a good older brother. And then he looked at my youngest sister and was like, you'd be a great older sister. Oh, and then this fucking tramp slut bitch was like, I'm pregnant! Also, when she was pregnant with my one sister, the one who was born during, like that baby, the one that I got told during Christmas, my younger sister was born early, and the doctor told her, do not have any more babies, the baby will die. And then you get pregnant again? Just to keep my dad around for longer? Oh, you're so selfish, you're so selfish, you're so fucking selfish. Also, going back to their wedding, oh my god, wait, I missed a big part. After a year we moved in, my dad told me that he was going to propose to her. He did not ask me, he did not ask my brother, he just told us, I'm going to propose to her. And we were like, oh, like, oh, okay. I had to take the pictures. Him proposing to her, I had to take the pictures. Don't mind this curl, whatever. But I had to take the fucking pictures, and I was annoyed because, like, come on, you're just mocking me at that point. Like, whatever. Now I'm just doing little touch-ups in my hair, and I have to still brush it out, but she was pregnant again, and she got hospitalized because her blood pressure was too high. You wanna know why? She was hitting us and yelling at us at every little fucking moment, and telling us how stupid we are. Call CPS now. But actually, before their wedding, I don't even know, I'm like skipping around. But before their wedding, I told my dad I didn't want him to marry her. I finally got the courage to say, I don't want you to marry her. And you know what my dad did? You know what my dad, my best fucking friend, did? The man I trusted with everything in the world. He told her. He told her. He told her. And she would bring that up still. That she never said that she didn't want me as a daughter, even though I'm so fucking difficult to deal with and raise. No one asked you to do this. No one asked you to do this. If you wanted a family of your own, you should not have gotten a fucking marriage with a guy who already had 2 kids. That's logic, I fear. But yeah, so she got pregnant again, had a baby, whatever. I love them both so dearly. Whatever, like, I love them. They're my sisters. But after I actually ran away, she told my little sister, well, both, but the one was one, she told them that I ran away because I don't love them, and I'm not even a real sister. I don't know what's going on here, just ignore it. But, so my little sister, who could, like, comprehend it, thought I hated her. No. Okay, and another thing is we were gonna move, but only I knew. My stepmom would talk to me about everything, like, towards, like, the end of the year where I was, like, going, like, when we were moving, because me and my little brother were gonna go somewhere, and then her and my little sisters were gonna go somewhere else, which I already didn't like because, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean I'm losing my sisters? I don't give a fuck about you. Where are you and my little sisters going? Let me know. But, also, don't come at me if I'm not curling my hair correctly. I'm 16 and I don't know how to curl hair right. Not too much. But whatever. I told my little brother that we were moving, which I was in a lot of trouble for, because I wasn't supposed to tell anyone. But I ended up getting grounded and screamed at, hit, all that. And at this point, I was so fucking done. Just so fucking done, like, and it was just a whole bunch of bullshit, that's what it was. But, you know, whenever I was gone, my siblings, my little brother, came with me, and pretty much, it was literally just that, and our stepmom, she's not even our stepmom, I'm gonna call her Angie. Angie was just a cunt. Angie was just a cunt, but then when I left, apparently she was just being really nice to my siblings, and, like, all the stuff I begged for. But at least my siblings got something out of it. I don't know. Here's the hair. If you guys want a story time of how I ran away and just more shit she did to me and my siblings, I will make one because I love talking about it because it is not fair. But I'll probably make another get ready with me later when I do my makeup, but love you.
Get ready with me while I do a story time on how I got pregnant from a man I just met from Texas. But from Texas and me being from California. I don't know, he's my boyfriend. Long story short, I used to live in Sacramento, so at the beginning of 2023, I moved back to my mom's, which is in Sonoma County. We are not from there. My mom's boyfriend was from there, so it's like I worked there and everything, but I didn't have friends or anything, so then I would always go to Sacramento and go out with my friends, and he'd always drive out there when I either had a day off or I just wanted to party, you know, because I was just young, and I loved clubbing, going to bars and stuff. Like, I enjoyed going out. Then my boyfriend, he and a bunch of other guys they were actually working in Sacramento from Texas, so they got sent to work to Sacramento for a job. So he was working there, and then it was just so funny because like my car was broke down, so it was getting fixed in Sacramento, and my car was ready, and I was gonna go pick it up. So literally as soon as I picked it up, I had this friend call me that I would always go out with and stuff. He called me and he was just like, hey Brenda, like I'm with some friends, like we're just gonna drink and chill, like, and I was like, yeah, I'm down, like, you know, I'm already out here, so why not? I was like, I'll just go hang out for a bit and see what's up, since I haven't like gone out in a while, since my car was broken down, so I wasn't able to go anywhere. So then I go, and it was just a house, I guess that's where they were staying at, an Airbnb. And so I was there chilling, like they were drinking a Twisted. I ended up just having like a Twisted tea and just hanging out for a bit. Ended up getting tipsy, so I just like chill, wait for it to like go down, you know, because I needed to go back home. I had work the next freaking morning. It was like an hour away, an hour and 15. So I'm just there hanging out, like just chilling, like just vibing, you know. My boyfriend wasn't there at the time. I guess he left to the store to get Twisted teas or whatever. So then I see like an ID on the table, and I just pick it up, and I was like, who's from Texas? Because I didn't know they were from Texas yet. I was like, who's from Texas? Like, we all are. I was like, oh shit, whose ID is this? And then he walked in the door. He's all, it's a mine, and takes out my hand like that, like it's mine. And I was like, oh shit. Like, mind you, all these other guys are like hella talking to me, being nice, friendly, and he didn't even pay no mind to me. He didn't even say hi, like didn't talk to me. I was tipsy when I was like waiting for it to go down so then I could leave, because I wasn't even starting getting ready. I cannot multitask. Tipsy, just waiting for it to go down. Me and him, mind you, we didn't even talk, have a conversation at all that night. He was just sitting right there on the couch just chilling, and I was already tipsy, and I thought he was cute. So of course, I go up to him and I'm like, you're kind of cute. Like, we're just talking, and then he's like, yeah, let me get your Instagram. So we swapped Instagrams. After that, I went home, but he had my Instagram, and he always would message me, like swipe on my stories and stuff. I kind of thought he was attractive, but I was in my party era, so I always go to Sacramento every weekend to go party, but then I'd hang out with him after. Not party, but like I would go with my friends to the bar, like just have a drink, and then I'd go hang out with him after. And then it just kept being like that, because then we ended up really liking each other. So then I just kept going. Literally every freaking day off I had, I would go. Or if I knew I had the next day off and I worked that morning, I would go after work and then go stay with him out there. Like, it was just, I don't know how. Okay, long story short, we kept going to see him and hanging out with him and like spending the night with him out there. And then like we just really liked each other, and it was like that for a month. I had a trip coming up to Mexico because I was turning 22, and then he ended up going back to Texas. Like, him and a bunch of other guys, like their job was done. They went back to Texas. We're never seeing each other no more. Like, this is done. Like, you know, 2 weeks in, he was already back in Texas, and I was in Mexico. And like, I noticed I was in Mexico for a week. I literally drank every fucking day that I was there, but I had the worst hangovers. Like, it was horrible. Like, I couldn't come back from them. But I was like, it's my birthday. Like, I'm gonna still turn up. But I noticed, like, I was late on my period, because my period was on point. And I noticed, I'm like, dude, I was literally supposed to start my period in Mexico. Like, if I didn't start my period in Mexico, then I was late. Like, that's just what it was. And I honestly, I remember telling my cousins in Mexico, like, you guys, I'm late. Like, I'm supposed to start my period here, and I'm not. I'm like, this is weird. Like, and I was cramping. And they're like, no, you're not pregnant. Like, don't worry about it, you know? And I was like, okay, fine. Like, I'm just gonna, they're like, enjoy yourself here. And I was like, okay, fine. Didn't think too much about it. The day I got back from my trip, it was the day after my birthday. I was like, I need to take a pregnancy test. Like, my hangover when I got back, I got sick. I just didn't feel good, dude. Like, I just knew something was wrong, and then I was late on my period. I didn't have work that day. I came back day after my birthday. So then I DoorDashed a pregnancy, and no one was home. I DoorDashed a pregnancy test because I didn't want to go nowhere. I was sick. I didn't feel good. I didn't want to buy a pregnancy test like in public. I'm a DoorDash. I peed on the stick, and not even within seconds, those 2 lines came up so freaking fast. I was like, oh my God. And then I called actually my cousin here, which is now my son's godmother. She was the first one I told I was pregnant, and she was just so excited. Like, oh my God, like, you're going to be a mom. What are you guys going to do? And I was like, I don't know. I need to call him and tell him. Called him and told him. He was like, yes, I'm going to be a dad. Like, I'm excited. But he was scared too. I should have told him, like, what are we going to do? Like, we didn't know each other like that. Like, what do you want to do? And we just decided to be together and be a family and raise our baby together. And honestly, things worked out that way. Like, sometimes the best things happen unexpected. I got pregnant, and then being at my mom's wasn't a healthy environment for me. Being pregnant drove here for me and to put all my stuff in the car, and we drove back from Texas because I had so much stuff to drive back, and my dog. I moved to Texas, and then I had my son out there. It's crazy how life works, and we're still together, going strong. Our son's now 10 months. I think the best things do happen unexpectedly. Not in every situation, but I am blessed to have him, and he takes care of me and my son. And I didn't even get ready because I can't multitask. I can't do two things at once, but thanks for listening to me. Healthcare in Texas was shit. So if you're pregnant in California, have your baby in California. Obviously, we had to learn how to learn each other while I was pregnant and have a baby, and so that it was difficult. We did have a lot of ups and downs, but I'm glad me and him have been able to grow from it. So I'm really lucky that we're together, and I get to give my son what I didn't have. This was the final result, even though I'm not able to talk and do my makeup at the same time.
Story time about how me and my best friend in high school snuck out of her house in the middle of the night in my dad's car and got pulled over at 3 o'clock in the morning. So when I was 17, I was supposed to be staying at my friend's house for the night. It was the summer after my junior year. And so my parents had just bought me a new car since I had wrecked my old one. But of course they didn't even trust me to drive that car anywhere, not even down the street. So I drove my dad's car to my friend's house. So for some reason, this specific summer, my best friend in high school and I had a hobby of just sneaking out. I really don't know why. I guess that's just the only thing we really wanted to do at the time. We were both pretty rebellious. So yeah. So that night, we decide we're gonna sneak out, and we come to the realization that her car is in the garage, and we don't want to wake her family up by opening the garage. And I'm just like, okay, well, we'll just take the car I'm driving. But keep in mind, this is my dad's car, and I'm not really sure, why I thought this was a good idea, but I did. So we go, and we pick up our guy friends, and they're 18. But this is important to keep in mind for what happens next. So we're driving around genuinely thinking that we're so slick, and all of a sudden I see cop lights coming behind me, and of course my heart sinks all the way to my feet, and I realize my headlights aren't on. And of course my two guy friends in the back are like, oh my gosh, don't freak out, don't freak out, don't freak out. Of course I'm freaking out. I had snuck out in the middle of the night in my dad's car. Of course I'm freaking out. So the cop runs my license, and he comes back and tells me I can't be out because there's a curfew. And I didn't even know it existed, but apparently if you're under 18, you can't be out past 12 a.m. between 12 and 6 or whatever. And of course my two guy friends in back are like, oh cool, we're 18, we can Uber home. And I'm like, must be nice, because I have to call my parents, and I literally cannot call my parents. I'm like, I don't want to be grounded until I'm 30 years old. So the cop comes up to me and he tells me that I either have to have a parent come get me, or a parent give me permission to drive home by myself. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. I'm not calling my parents, you know what I mean? So the officer goes to talk to the other officer, and while he's doing that, I'm scrambling thinking of who I'm gonna call. I had been at parties before where they had made me call my parents, and I just didn't know what to do. So the person I decided to call is the guy I'm talking to at the time. So I'm texting this guy, and I'm like, please pretend to be my dad. I genuinely can't get in trouble. I've been in trouble enough this summer. Will you please pretend to be my dad? And so the cop comes back up to my car, and he's like, okay, we need to talk to your parents. And so I call this guy that I'm talking to, and he's pretending to be my dad, and somehow this cop believes him. So somehow I just get lucky, and even though he clearly sounds like a teenage boy, I mean, what is the cop gonna say? So of course I'm hoping, now we got out of this part, telling the truth was never my thing back then. And so I'm so now that I faked a phone call, all I have to do is just hope he doesn't write me a citation. Wrong. So at this point, I know I'm cooked. There's no denying it. I'm just overall cooked, and I'm in trouble. So he writes me multiple citations, and I'm just overall screwed. For a part 2 about how I explained this to my parents and what lie I came up with.
Get ready with me while I tell the story time on how I nearly died in the ocean. I love doing get ready with me's, but I never know what to talk about, but I have so many stories that I could tell, so I'm why not do story times? I just did my tinted SPF. I just didn't film it because I have to like really focus when I do it. So this actually happened the summer before my freshman year in high school. So me and my family were at Folly Beach and we saw that there was red flags everywhere saying that the currents were really strong and that you shouldn't be swimming far out into the ocean. Keep in mind, that side of the beach had lifeguards. The other side I'm about to talk about did not have lifeguards. Because currents can vary so much, me and my family was like, we're just gonna go on the other side of the beach. And when I say other side, I mean like it was very, very far. And I didn't think much of it. There was a lot of surfers down there, but there wasn't any lifeguards. There also wasn't any flags. So I thought, oh, it must be fine. So I'm boogie boarding, everything's fine, but I noticed that like the currents are getting a little strong. It was me and my stepdad in the water and my mom was on the beach. If my stepdad was not there during that time, I would have died. I've always been a really strong swimmer. I love swimming. When it comes to the ocean does not care how strong of a swimmer you are. You know, you always hear the infamous like, oh, swim against the current, like that's how you get out of it. I tried all these things before anyone starts like commenting about that. Did not work. So in the place that I was, just a little bit further down the beach, there was really sharp black rocks that just kind of separate the two areas of the water. And when I say sharp, I mean like needle sharp, like they are sharp rocks. My mom kept like yelling at me and my stepdad like, y'all are going too far, because the current kept kind of shifting us closer and closer to the rocks. Like, we'll just go down the beach. So we went further away from the rocks, but no matter how far we went, it just slowly kept pushing us towards it. Can we take a moment to talk about how pretty this palette is? It's called Rainforest of the Sea. Very fitting. But anyways, it got to the point where I was going under the water so much that I was starting to not breathe, because I'd be up for just a minute to breathe in and then I'd go under the water and it would make me suck up water, which at this point in time, like there was a lot of water already in my lungs. Start panicking and panicking. At this time, we're right by those really sharp rocks. But my stepdad starts trying to grab me and try to hold me as he's trying to swim against the current as well. My stepdad is a very bulky, like built guy. Like he's very strong, and he was also really struggling himself to fight against it. Screaming, help, help, help me. While my mom was on the beach, she was freaking out. She can't just jump in herself because she's not a good swimmer. So it's like, I was kind of screwed if something were to happen if my stepdad couldn't help me. We were now so deep in the ocean that I couldn't feel the bottom, and so I was struggling to stay up because they were so strong. I'd swimming against it, I kept getting pushed back, then I looked back at my stepdad, he's no longer holding me anymore, and it was literally like the movies where someone's like, go, I'll be fine, and then they're not fine. He looked at me, he was like, go baby, go, you're fine, just go without me, and I was like, no! Like, I'm laughing about it now because it kind of does sound like a movie scene, but genuinely I thought I was gonna lose him too. I thought that he was gonna get like taken by the currents and then I might have made it or something. I would feel guilty about that for the rest of my life. So anyways, I am now trying to swim by myself. It's not working and I just keep going under again. At this time, I don't really remember too much about how he got back to me because I like literally blacked out. But once I did become kind of like conscious of what was going on, my stepdad finally got to me. He took me and he threw me and he launched me up on those rocks. And even though it left me scars and I thought I was gonna have to go to the emergency room, it is what saved my life. I'm gonna do my lashes and I'll come back because yet again I have to kind of focus for that. Top lashes are done. So as I am walking the rocks, like it's killing my feet, like I'm walking across a million needles, it feels like. I look down at my body, my whole body from like really like my stomach down to my feet, completely covered in blood. I genuinely looked like I had been attacked by a shark in a very like gruesome kind of way. So I'm like bawling my eyes out, but I feel still kind of unconscious in a way, like I cannot believe what just happened and I'm not really fully aware of everything that's going on. And I just remember that I fell back in. I fell back into the water because of that, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I just did that. But the weirdest part of the entire story is when I asked my stepdad about it today, he says, I never put you back up on the rocks because I remember that I fell back in and I got put back up on the rocks. like pretty quickly. And so I thought that my stepdad just did it, and he said that he never did it. During that moment, he was trying to get himself back up on the beach too, because he walked the rocks himself, so he also ended up with the same kind of bloody situation and scars that I did. To some people, this may sound crazy or like weird, but the only thing I could think of was like literally an angel or something to help me, because there's no other explainable reason for me to have gotten back up on the rocks. Just did my waterline eyeliner. Once I finally got on the beach, I literally just like threw myself on the sand and like just sat there and just cried, literally just thinking how blessed I was to be alive. My mom was beside herself, like she thought she was gonna lose me, like she was hugging me and like crying herself. I had some random woman that I didn't know come up to me and say that she was taking photos of her husband who was surfing, and that she saw everything happen and that she was about to literally jump in the water for me, and I will literally never forget her. After sitting on the beach for a little bit and trying to pour my water all over my legs to get blood off of me, I start walking to the car, but I'm literally limping because of how much pain I'm in. Like my entire legs, just gashes, deep gashes. I had a bunch of surfers walk by, look at me and be like, oh my gosh. Like I heard one literally say, like, what shark got me? Because I can see where it literally looks like I got attacked by a shark. So we went to CVS and got a bunch of things to clean me up and to make sure that my cuts weren't as deep as we thought, because I thought I was gonna have to go to the emergency room for A, stitches, and B, to make sure I didn't have as much water in my lungs as it truly felt like I did. Afterwards, we got food because we hadn't ate all day, but I just remember I came back to the hotel room and I just stared at my food, and I was not able to eat the rest of the day because I was so like just beside myself that even happened to me, because I was really just concerned about getting myself back to the beach. But I also had so many thoughts in my head, like, this is gonna be my very last time ever breathing, this is gonna be my last time ever living. Like I really thought that was gonna be my last moment of my life. I'm really thankful I did not have to go to the hospital, and most of all, I thank God every single day that I'm alive. I've had so many near-death experiences, and it's just crazy that I'm still here today. This is also a reminder that if you're going to be on the beach, if there is a section with lifeguards, please stay near that area. And also, don't be too cocky to think that you can go far out in the ocean, especially if no one is with you. It's better to be safe than sorry. The ocean is relentless. Just doing my lips and then I'll be done. This is literally the prettiest gloss. My makeup is all done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you want to see more story time like videos, then let me know. Thank you for watching. Bye.
So about a month ago, I got heartbroken by a guy on Hinge that I was talking to and seeing for like 2 weeks straight. So when that ended, naturally, I go back on Hinge. My brain chemistry is like altered at this point, so I'm going in with no hope and no expectations. Like the guy that like low-key broke my heart treated me so good, so I was like, okay, nobody's even gonna match that, so this is just for shits and giggles at this point. I meet a guy. He was really hot. He's really hot. Yeah, no, yeah. And I was like, we matched. So after a few days of talking, we go on our first date. He takes me to like an Italian restaurant in a park and whatever, and I notice that he's really touchy on the first date. Not like sexually, just like his hands are like on me any chance he gets. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird for a first date, but like whatever, he's hot, I don't really give a gaff. So the next day after the date, like things go well, we're just having fun, but he's kind of, I notice some red flags, and I'm like, I would not date this guy, like for real. So the next day, he kind of ghosts me, and I text him, I'm like, you don't have to ghost me, you know, you can just like tell me if you're not interested, right? And then he says he's interested, but I'm not what he's looking for, because I wasn't touchy enough. Okay, whatever. I was like, okay, I don't see us like a couple either. So then the next day, I brought up the idea of just keeping it physical, because I was like, I can't walk away with nothing, like he's hot. He agrees, so that same weekend we hook up, and I was like, that was great, let's do it again, let's run that back. I'm just kidding, but like I just wanted like a friends with benefits situation. Like I was like, I literally cannot date this guy no matter what. Like he's red flags. Like I noticed like he was low-key misogynistic, also racist, which is weird because he's Mexican, but whatever. Also just like low-key not that considerate when it came to like he never asked me if I wanted him to wear, like, to wrap it up. I got tested, don't worry.
Anyways, just so many other, like, toxic traits that he had. Like, he wouldn't communicate, and he was just not great. Like, not boyfriend material at all. But we had, like, fun together. Like, other than, like, the sex. Like, we would, like, just go do things, and it was just fun. So we kept that up, and he, like, kept insisting that he really liked me. And I'm like, boy, like, you gotta fix some things. Like, I don't hate the idea of us being together. We look good together, like, but, like, there's things that I'm looking for that you, like, I have a certain way that I want to be loved, and you don't do that. And so he starts saying, like, oh, I want to change for you, like, and then he does. Like, he low-key, like, everything I told him that I wanted, like, he started to do. So I was like, wait, maybe this could be something? Like, I don't know. So exactly a week ago now, we went to a club, and I had a really, really good time. Like, he knows how to dance, and we just had a great time. Here's another red flag. He wanted to drive me drunk. Anyways, but the club was fun. We got back to my apartment, and, oh, before this, I had told him, like, I don't want to, like, have sex without a condom because I'm ovulating, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, so either wait or, like, bring them next time. So this day comes, and he's like, obviously, we're getting heated, right? And he's like, oh, I brought. And I was like, oh, perfect. He showed me, and I assume, like, when you show me that you brought it, that you're gonna wear it. Why the fuck, after we had finished, I look and I'm like, did you even wear it? He said, no, I took it off. Oh. I told him how terrified I was of getting pregnant, right? Didn't give a fuck. Obviously, did not give a fuck. So I was upset, but he kept apologizing and saying, like, oh, I know I should have told you, like, it won't happen again. I'm so sorry. Like, it's not okay. So I brushed it off because I thought his apology was really sincere, and I was like, ugh, it's fine. So, and then this past Saturday, he went to a concert. I was undelivered for 15 hours while he was at the concert, but I was like, it's okay, he's, like, busy, right? Next day he gets back, I'm dry because I'm, like, upset that I was undelivered for 15 hours, like, no update, no nothing, really. And he was like, my phone died while I was recording, and he sent me a long paragraph of his entire day. I was like, alright, like, it's whatever, like, I can't blame you for being busy, like, it's fine. That same day, because he went on Saturday, and then Sunday is when he finally texted me back. Same day, in the evening, I get a follow from an account with the name Jaden blank is cheating. I was like, what the fuck? So I follow them back, and I message them. I'm like, do you know something? Tell me why I get a video of him kissing his ex-girlfriend that he said they broke up 2 months ago. I get a video of him kissing his ex-girlfriend at the concert. Like, oh, you're kidding. Oh, this is funny. Oh. Because he was really convincing me that he wanted to be a couple, like, genuinely. He was trying to say, I love you. The fuck? So, dumb mistake, but I sent him it immediately, and I was like, you're done. You're so fucking done. Like, I can't believe I ever trusted you, blah, blah, blah. I regret doing that because I could have taken that as an opportunity to, like, get something out of it. Whatever. That's never happened to me before, so I was like, I don't know. So then I find he blocks me on Instagram. Doesn't say anything to my text. He just blocks me on Instagram. Like, oh, okay, pussy. Anyways, next day his ex-girlfriend follows me. She didn't know, by the way. She didn't know that I existed. Like, she didn't know he was seeing someone else already. Because apparently they had actually broken up, like, 2 weeks ago or something. Like, now 3 or something. I don't know. So she followed me, and I messaged her. I'm like, girl, can we bomb him? She was like, I was thinking of popping it. So anyways, we've been in constant communication, and I'm just learning so many new things about this man. Like how he was cheating on her for their entire relationship, and they were back and forth for like 3 years. Poor girl. She finally stood up, but like, obviously it took her a while. Whatever, I'm not gonna judge. I learned that he tried to, like, she had a pregnancy scare, and he was going to try to convince her to keep it. Luckily she wasn't pregnant, but if she was, he would have manipulated her into keeping it. I learned that he is sexually attracted to his mother. I have receipts of this shit, by the way, but, like, he had said that he likes girls who look like his mom, look similar to his mom. And he also said one time when she was at his house, that he went up to his mom, he hugged her, and he was like, when dad dies, like, I'm gonna marry my mom and she's gonna be all mine. I learned that he marinates in his cum-stained sheets. Like, doesn't wash his sheets. Thank fucking God, because he invited me to his house and I said no. Like, he invited me twice and I just couldn't each time. So, thank God. I learned that he would shamelessly, like, want to, like, have sex with her in his brother's bed and his little sister's bed. I learned that whenever he made her upset and made her cry, he would just say, like, stop crying, I'll give you money. Long story short, I dodged a fat bullet. I dodged a missile. I dodged the atomic bomb. Like, truly, I've never met a man that's worse than this. Like, there's so much more, too. Like, this isn't it. Like, I literally forgot the most important part. That after he blocked me, one of her, like, her brother was still following him. He blocked both of us, me and the ex-girlfriend. But his little brother was still following him, and he found out that this guy had posted, pictures with 3 different girls on his story, back to back to back. First it was a picture of him and his ex at the concert, then it was a picture of me and him at the club, then it was a picture of him and some other girl that we don't even know. Like, he was flexing that he was a fucking whore. What are you doing? What are you doing? Anyways, I don't know how I'm ever gonna trust a man again after this, because thinking about him just makes me, like, genuinely sick, like, to my stomach. Like, he's disgusting, and I don't know, be careful out there, guys. Be careful.
Hey guys, get ready with me while I tell you guys a story time on what happened yesterday, because Friday the 13th is so real. Like, I thought it was just, like, a little, like, theory, like, nothing was gonna happen. But my day was actually terrible yesterday. But this all leads up to 2 days ago, because, like, the story's kind of, like, ongoing. Okay, so basically, it is all in school, and I actually hate school. Like, I want to move so bad. But it's all in my French class, and French is my least favorite subject right now. I would love it if this didn't happen. Okay, so starting off from, like, almost the beginning of the year, we got assigned seats, but it was, like, by people we like, because our teacher, Madame, is what we call her, because that's, like, French for teacher, I'm pretty sure. I don't really know. But I should probably know that. But yeah, so we got put by people we wanted to, because we, like, filled out something, like, who we would want to be sat by. But there is 5 girls, like, including me, there's 5, so one of them is bound to get left out. Unless they were, like, the type that actually, like, likes to include people, you know. But I'm just gonna give you, like, a little clue they're not. So at the beginning of the year, it's all, like, normal, like, nothing's bad. We all like each other. And I have code names for them. Okay, so other than French, I had, like, separate classes with 2 people. See, their nicknames are really random, so, like, don't mind. Okay, so first off, I didn't think I was gonna have classes with anybody or, like, study halls or anything. But I did get, like, 2 classes with, I'm gonna call her Orange. Well, actually, I had 3 classes with her. But in one of our classes, she had, like, one of her other friends, but we had, like, one class where it was just us 2. So, you know, she would talk to me that class, like, be all chill with me, but then, when it get to our other classes, she just, like, ditched me and talked to the other people she was friends with. And I had class with this other girl, but me and her, I'm gonna call her Pear, but me and her, like, were, like, chill, like, we only had a study hall together, and, you know, we were chill. She would talk to me at study hall, but, like, when it would get to French, she would talk to Orange. But that made sense to me because, obviously, we were just study hall friends. Like, that was just different. It's just the fact that, like, most of all of them left me out. None of them really included me. Sometimes Orange and Pear would, like, include me. I'm gonna call the 2 other girls Avocado and Mango, but they would include me sometimes, too. Like, I'd either be included in one or the other. So we get, like, halfway through the year, and, you know, Orange and Pear, like, are starting to have problems. They have been friends since, like, 7th grade probably, but they've had, like, on and off problems since. Orange always talks bad about Pear, but, like, I don't know, Pear doesn't care. I just rhymed. And they have, like, stopped being friends, started being friends, like, just back and forth, like, it's just all the time. So they started having problems because Pear heard that Orange was, like, talking about her, like, right in front of her, too. Like, this happened right. She heard it herself. And I'm not trying to air their business because that's their own, you know. And keep in mind, Orange has done so much to me, like, throughout this year, throughout other years. Orange, if you go look back, there's a video about her, but I called her Apple. But she has done so much to me, but I have forgave her every single time. So obviously I took Pear's side on this, and I started being partners with Pear in French. So I was just like, I feel bad, like, I feel her. So, keep in mind, like, this whole, like, those 4 girls, they would all talk to each other, and I'd just, like, sit there. They wouldn't really talk to me. But, like, they would talk to me if I said something, but, like, they don't really. So, when Pear and her started to have problems, like, all 3 of those girls, like, stopped talking to Orange. And then they started, like, being all buddy-buddy with me. And, like, they'd be nice to me. They'd include me in their groups, like, And Pear and Orange were, like, done at this point. Like, I thought they were done. Then we had winter break, so, like, low-key forgot about all of it. I just, like, obviously went into winter break. I'm not trying to enter their business. Like, I'm genuinely not. But, like, Pear unadded Orange. So, we all thought it was done. But, like, I don't know. So, I stopped talking to Orange because she would make these little side comments to me. And I was just like, finally I have, like, people to talk to in French. Or so I thought, I guess. I'm just gonna say this. Orange has her way, like, of getting people to be friends with her because I can't even lie, like, I was. And then they decided, like, they were just gonna become friends again. Like, Orange kind of forced it. So that led me back to having no one. So, I just started talking to all of them. Being all nice and stuff, like, hoping that they would include me now. Because they would include me when they weren't friends with her. Actually, the complete opposite. That did not happen at all. Okay, so sometimes I, like, invite myself to be in, like, their group projects. And I know it's bad, like, I just didn't have anybody else, and I didn't want to be in a group project by myself. But, it worked out. Until I was walking, and I hear Orange and our other friend that I haven't really talked about, but she's in, like, the class with her. Because, I said I had 3 classes with Orange, but I only had 1 that it was just us 2. This is a whole different one, but she has, like, a closer friend. And this is our arrow time. And that's, like, basically study hall, but everybody has it. So, you can go and visit other teachers if you have a pass. I'm just going to call this girl Blueberry, because I don't know what to call her. But she's not bad. Like, she's okay. So, I was walking down the hall to go to my arrow time, and I see Blueberry and Orange standing by each other talking, and Blueberry sees me, keep in mind, Orange does not. And Blueberry was going to a different classroom, and Orange was like, who am I going to talk to now? Like, bro, who am I going to talk to? And Blueberry is like, oh, you have Brooklyn. Blueberry, like, kind of laughed, so I don't know. Like, I don't really know. But Orange was over there dying. Looks behind, sees me, hits her. So, like, I heard all of that, bro, and she knows that. So, that whole time, I did not talk to her the rest of the day, and I have not talked to her since. She'll, like, try and talk to me, like, little bits, like, get, like, some things, but I just don't talk to her. I'll keep it dry, like, I'll be civil, like, if she asks me what we're doing in one class, I'll tell her. Like, I'm not trying to be so rude to a point because, like, I don't know, I'm not trying to be like that. But, like, I'm obviously not talking to her. That's just, like, the whole start of it. So, Pear comes up to me and she's like, what's going on with you and Orange? So, obviously I told her. And I'm not trying to out Pear or anything, but Pear talked bad about her all the time. So, I thought Pear was gonna, like, be partners with me because, she just told me she didn't like her. That, like, I don't even know why I thought that, considering, like, every single time she's done that, she's freaking ditched me. So me, I have no partners. Like, Madame will be like, talk to the people around you. I'll just sit there, and it's actually kind of embarrassing. Okay, I drew a seating chart. Don't mind, like, the writing or, like, how it looks, because there's, like, other desks over here. But you see, this is where I sit, so I am, like, left out of that whole group. So when it's, like, partner talking, I just sit there, like, by myself, and they all talk. And they don't invite me into the conversation or anything either. Like, I am fully left out. So, I'm going to start 3 days ago. We were playing, I forget what it's called, the one, Battleship, but in, like, French. We were playing it, and Madame said, like, oh, Brooklyn, be partners with Orange and Pear. Like, you guys, like, have her. So, finally, I got a partner. I was chill with it. I was just like, thanks, Madame, low-key. Because, like, I wasn't going to get a partner, if not. Barely talked to Orange, by the way. Like, I still didn't really talk to her. I kind of just sat there while they were, like, laughing, dying of laughter, actually, talking about everything. And they aired their business out to the class. I don't know why. Like, why are you not keeping this secret? But they air out their business. And keep in mind, Pear still talks so bad about her. And Pear always says hi to me. She's always like, hi, Brooklyn. And I'm actually, like, I like Pear still. Like, I don't know. But leading to 2 days ago, we played this slap game where you get a bunch of cards, like a stack of cards, and it has, like, the words, like, French words, and Madame will say the word, and you usually have a partner, because it's a game. So when she says the word, you, like, try slapping it as fast as you can, and whoever gets it first, like, whoever gets the most gets prizes. So I thought, maybe Tara's going to invite me because she says hi to me every day, and you could have a group of 3, but no. They all went up and got their little packs, and Pear and Orange were partners, and the other two were partners. So I had to play by myself, because you can play by yourself, but it's not recommended. It's just, like, I'm gonna win every single time. At least I could have got a prize, but I didn't, because it was so embarrassing, too, because there was groups all around me. Everybody could notice. Madame could notice. Like, I had the area where everybody was grouped up, except for me, and it's a bunch of cards, so you can see, like, whose cards they are. People are, like, looking at me and stuff. And Mango and Pear were, like, facing my direction and kept looking back at me, and then Orange would keep looking back at me. Avocado didn't. But they just kept looking back at me, and, like, they could tell. Like, they just didn't even care, though, and that's what makes me, like, I don't know. So I was just kind of on my phone the whole time. I was just, like, because obviously I wasn't going to freaking, like, play the game. I'm going to win every single time. Sorry, this video is getting really long. I only have a minute. So fast forward to the next day, because, that's that day. You know, they all left me out. I was actually, like, verge of tears. Because they kept looking back at me, too. And Madame kept looking at me and didn't even care. Flash forward to yesterday, March 13th, Friday the 13th. So we were playing Kahoot, and, you know, I was doing all good. And then I hear we're going to take a revenge round of yesterday. Obviously, I didn't want to play because I didn't want to play by myself and get stares, like, the whole time. So I went up, and I asked if I could use the bathroom, and she sounded so disappointed that I was going to the bathroom before a game. And she was like, do you know what group you're going to join when you get back? No, obviously, I don't know what group I'm going to join. So I said, probably myself. She sounded so sad for me. I'm trying to speak really fast. I was gone from 23 to 46. I'm back. I see 3 people from my class going back in the room. We only have 2 passes. So I was like, shoot, I was gone for a while. I see her walk outside of the classroom. And she was just standing there waiting for me. And then she told me, she was like, you've been gone for a long time. In this voice, exactly. And I was like, oh, yeah, sorry about that. She's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, for me to know that you're okay, you need to be back on time because you were gone for way too long. Like, that was just way, way too long. I was like, okay. And keep in mind, everybody thinks she's a nice teacher. She's being so rude. And she literally saw me sitting by myself. So then I was just like, I went to sit down, and they were all just staring at me again. And I didn't grab cards because at this point we had 6 minutes left in class. Not even 4. So I didn't grab cards. I just went and I sat down. I saw that my squishy was popped because some guy that I gave it to popped it. And then a tree fell in our school. So basically, if you guys want to hear about that, go listen to Daisy's Storytime. Okay, guys, this is my outfit for the day. That's all, guys. I'm gonna go. So that was my story time. And basically, Friday the 13th in March is so real. So, bye, guys.
I'm in my friend's house getting ready right now, and there's no mirrors. So I'm going to tell you a story time about how I grew up not seeing my reflection in the mirror until 1st grade. I grew up and not seeing my reflection until I got into the 1st grade and had to use the bathrooms in the school. So in my house, we had no mirrors. My mom would get me ready for school, and my sister, and we didn't even know that public restrooms were a thing, actually. So when we would go in public, we would just make sure that we would use the restroom before we left, and then not be out long enough to have to use the restroom. And if we did have to use the restroom, we would make sure we were just close enough to go home. So I literally didn't know that people were actually using the restrooms while they were out. I thought that everyone just went home and did it. And yeah, so no one really brought it up. And then we have blinds and curtains everywhere on all of our windows, so they weren't reflective, so I couldn't see. I also didn't know to look for a reflection, so that's why I didn't seek out the windows or anything. So you might be wondering if I hold this against my parents to this day. No, I do not. I think it actually helped me grow up, not really worrying about what I looked like too much or how I was perceived. I was just a kid, it was only till 1st grade, so I was just having fun. I didn't have to worry about if I had pimples. It prevented a lot of temper tantrums going into school because I wasn't looking at what my hair looked like, Sometimes that makes kids be angry or something, but that never bothered me what I looked like because it wasn't my business. So, yeah. So I haven't actually started talking about this till recently, and now I'm finding out that this is not normal. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to comment. And if anyone relates or if this happened to them, or if you're like raising your kids right now the same way, definitely let me know. I would love to hear other people's experiences with this. And yeah, I'm pretty open about it. It's not like a huge big deal. So, and now I'm looking at my reflection, getting ready, but my friend's house has no mirrors, so it just reminded me. And I'm not like PTSD, you know, it's not like I'm not brought back to bad memories. It's just something that happened.
You guys, I know I don't look flattering, but come do a story time with me, and I'm gonna get ready. Well, I'll tell you guys how my boyfriend has had a stalker, and pretty much she became my stalker too. Like, literally, she knows we have a family, we're together now, and she still goes out of her way to, like, I mean, not no more recently, but I know she still stalks us. Okay, so let me tell you guys where it started. So it started from the first time I went to Texas, and it was weird because, like, I posted my boyfriend, he asked me out, he asked me to be his girlfriend, he did, like, a cute proposal. I was already, like, 2 months pregnant, but it was cute because, like, he wanted to really ask me, like, officially. And, like, after I left, it was weird because she, like, texted him off a, like, text me number, like, it wasn't even a number with the right area code, and she, like, texted him some weird shit, and he told me, he's like, and I should have told him, like, who the fuck is this bitch, like, why is she fucking bugging, like, you know, like, you're with me now, and I'm pregnant, we're about to have a family, and he told me, he's like, dude, it's this weird bitch, like, it's just this girl he used to talk to, you know, before me, months before me, I guess, but I'm like, if my man was really in this girl's DM, she would send receipts, because she would never send receipts, like, she never would say shit, like, you know, anyways, she would do it, like, in and out, like, she would pop in and out, like, messaging him, or either call me and be like, hey, I miss you, like, with random phone numbers, like, text me, you know, those text me now numbers, yeah, with the fake fucking area codes and stuff. So she would do that, and, like, I would text back talking shit, because then I ended up moving to Texas, like, and I had my baby out there, and she would literally call him off no caller ID we had our newborn, bro. She would call us at 2 or 3 in the morning. I would just see his phone going on. There's so many times I fucking answered, and she would, like, it would be no one, like, no one would say nothing. I'm like, bitch, like, fucking answer. Like, I would literally talk shit because I was just so fed up with this girl, like, bugging. Like, you're bugging, bro. Like, there's so many fish in the sea. There's so many guys out there. Why are you so after mine? Like, you're obsessed. Like, he don't want you. He's with me now. Like, girl. And I would even be like, bitch, like, if he's fucking texting you, like, send me the receipts, like, wouldn't a bitch like that, like, if my man was entertaining her, like, she would be so quick to send the receipts because how much she was obsessed with him. And, like, even from the beginning, I told my boyfriend, like, if you see a fucking random number trying to text you, like, block it. And he would. Like, he would block it. And, you know, but this girl would still call him on no caller ID. And it's funny because, so my boyfriend had 2 phones at the time. I know, right? So did I, though. I had 2 phones, too, when we met. It was, like, kind of funny. But I paid off one phone, and I turned off the service on it, so I only ended up having 1 phone. But then after we had our baby, my boyfriend's like, I just paid off another phone. He's like, you're going to keep my phone, and we just won't pay yours no more. So we each had 1 phone, and my phone was his old, like, the other phone that he had, because he had 2 phones, you know? And I shut off my service off the other one, you know? And so then, I say you know all the time, oh my god. And so pretty much the number I had was his number, one of his old numbers. And it was the phone she would always be calling. And so when we ended up moving coming to California, she would just randomly, like, pop in. And I know it's her, because who the fuck else would it be? Like, who else would it be? And it was so weird, because one time, she would still call no call ID. I would answer and be like, hello, or I'd be with him and I'd be like, hello, and I'd be like, Victor, fucking you answer and fucking tell her. Be like, what, and nothing. Like, every time we would answer the no caller ID number, like, she would not say shit until this one time. So we already lived in Cali. My baby was already fucking, like, 4 months, and I had my cousin over at the time. Like, she's a witness. So I literally was about to fall asleep. Like, my baby literally, like, bitch, you're waking him up in the middle of his sleep. So I literally had my ringer on, and I fucking get a phone call at, like, 3 in the morning. 2 in the morning here, so it's, like, 4 in the morning over there. And it's a random guy. Like, she had some guy fucking call me. And he was like, where's Victor? I'm like, what the fuck is it? Victor's my man. Like, why the fuck are you asking for Victor? He's like, tell him, this guy literally was like, tell Victor to leave my friend Julie alone. He keeps bugging her. And I'm like, where the fuck are receipts? I'm like, who the fuck is that? And he's like, his ex. And I honestly, like, it was, like, so weird to me because, like, I'm not even gonna lie. I crashed out on my boyfriend a few times. Like, who is this bitch? Like, bro, we have a baby. Why is she bugging? Like, you know, I was fucking taking off on him because I was so fucking mad. Like, who is she? And after that call, like, I called my boyfriend, and I was like, bro, why is this bitch saying this? Like, why she have the guy call me and looking for you? Like, it's fucking weird. It's so weird at this point. Like, I told him, you need to do something about her. Say something to someone, because, like, this is getting dragged on way too fucking much. Like, dude, she stays calling in the middle of the fucking night. I don't fucking know what she's fucking doing out there, being a drunk, being a bum. But calling us in the middle of the night when we have a baby sleeping on our bed, like, bitch, you're doing way too much. And she's, bitch, go get a fucking life. Like, why are you obsessed with us? Are you mad that, like, I'm from Cali? I'm just kidding. What about me is I'm gonna talk my shit. Like, you mad he met a real bad bitch from Cali or what? Because, girl. And, like, after that phone call, like, I haven't had any, no caller IDs now, like, ever since. Like, I told my boyfriend, you need to fucking, honestly, just call this bitch and tell her to fucking leave us alone. Like, seriously, because we didn't want to give in. We're like, we're gonna keep feeding into her shit, and she's gonna keep bugging. But, dude, we wouldn't even fucking mind her and still get calls, still get bothered. And it's like, little do you know, bitch, my phone number now is that old phone number you had of his, and you still call. So annoying. But anyways, yeah, we had a stalker for a bit. Yeah. But sorry, girl, you can't pray on our downfall because God is with us. He protects us, and we're one big happy family with a little baby. Not to toot my own horn, but I'd be mad too if a guy I was obsessed with new girl looked like this. So, Can't blame her, right?
Guy I was talking to for a month and a half went to Port A and kissed another girl, and now I have no idea what to do. Just like I need other people's opinions on the situation, on what I should do, because I am literally so stuck right now. I don't know if I should continue talking to him and trust that he won't do something like that again, or end things now before I get too attached and no matter what he does, I just stay. Because been there, done that, it is not fun and I don't want that for myself ever again. But before you guys give me your opinion on what I should do, please listen to the context behind all of this. Okay, so basically, this guy is 2 years older than me and we met about a month and a half ago. Known him for about like 2 or 3 years, or at least I've known of him, but I only started talking to him, like I said, a month and a half ago. But at the time we met, we had both gotten done with like really bad, messy breakups. He got cheated on, I got cheated on. We just had both gone through a lot of shit in our past relationship. We had very similar situations and we kind of just like bonded over that and kind of trauma dumped to each other. And honestly, meeting him helped me get through everything so much better, and he honestly like healed me as a person. I know it was such a short period of time, but we would literally spend all weekend, every weekend together. Work during the week and I'm still in school, so I was doing school, but on the weekends we would spend every moment we could together. The part I am so stuck on is the fact that we both made it super very clear we do not want a relationship right now. Neither of us have ever like really like flat out like talked about like what are we in like any sort of way, but we both made it very clear from the start we were very interested in each other, and that was super clear. We just didn't really have like any labels on it yet. And this guy was literally like perfect and everything I was looking for as soon as I met him. It's like, where did this guy even come from? Like, he is literally everything I have ever wanted in a guy. Like, we have the same mindsets, the same future we want for ourselves, same goals, literally everything. And I've realized in a bunch of my past talking stages or past relationships, they've kind of made me pull away from all the things I love, and I've kind of just focused all my energy on that person. Me and this guy pushed each other to do better. Like, we have these like friendly competitions with each other, see who can make more money, blah blah blah, who can get more tan, and he just made me want to do better. And usually I would drift away from focusing on things that mattered, but he honestly pulled me closer to them. And we just both keep each other in check, and I just think that we were so good for each other, and he was so good for me, and honestly like just made me want to be a better person. And then spring break came around and he invited me to Port A, which is basically, if you don't already know, it's just like a party beach. Like, every day you just go out and on the beach and party. Like, everyone talks about how crazy it is. People are asking for everyone's numbers, there's a bunch of kissing, all of that. And he invited me to go with him because he really wanted me to go with him. My mom said I couldn't go, so I did not go. So then he went, and then I had a strong feeling he had done something. I could just tell. During the trip, he was just like, I don't even know, like, I have separation anxiety from you or something. Like, I miss you so much. I just want to get home and I just want to see you. Because he was supposed to go on another trip when he got home and asked me to go on that one, and I couldn't go on that one either. So he says, okay, I'm not gonna go on it either. I just want to spend this weekend with you. So like I said, I had a very strong feeling. So for the first time we hung out since the trip, I asked him honestly. I was like, did you do anything with anyone at Port A? At first, like, he kind of paused, and then he was like, no, I did not fuck anyone. I did not fuck anyone. I'm like, did you kiss anyone? Like, did he do anything at all? Then he was eventually like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't want to sit here and lie to you. I did, like, kiss someone. Basically, like, I, once again, cannot be mad because me and this guy, we made it very clear we are not anything. But I still did spend the last month and a half with this guy. I really did like him. I know he really did like me. He, like, did have high hopes for this guy, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this, you know, I could see this going somewhere. And I have dealt with cheaters in the past, and I know it's not considered cheating practically because we're not together. But I feel like when you're talking to someone, it just kind of like shows you like who the person is before you actually go and officially like date them. I feel like to go and like kiss someone during this talking stage, especially a month and a half in, it just doesn't seem right. Like, if it was so easy for you to do that now, like, I have no doubt on how easy it would be if we ever do become an official thing. I know y'all cannot see inside my brain and see the memories we've had, but we've literally like slow danced in the rain to country music. We've had some of the most romantic nights ever. I say we don't even do stuff like that. Like, we seriously don't. We literally just hang out and have like such good like quality time with each other. We talk about deep shit. Like, every single weekend was just so fun to me, and like, he honestly coming into my life made my life so much better. I am so stuck because I just keep replaying those memories, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy was really perfect, but then now like he does something like this, and that is like the biggest thing for me is cheating. Like, I absolutely cannot do it.
And I just, like, I don't know if I can trust that he won't do it again. Like, if I knew he would never do it again, I'd be like, okay, it's fine, but I don't know if I can put myself through some of the situations I have done in the past. That's why I just need y'all's help. I am literally so stuck right now on what to do. By the way, he also posted 3 pictures on his public story where I could see. One of them, he was shirtless, taking a selfie with the girl in the mirror. Second one was a picture of a girl sleeping on him in the car. And then also he posted a picture with that one, like, poor day Graham or whatever, and there was 2 blonde girls in the selfie or whatever. I just don't know. Like, I know we're not an official thing, but still, like, that shit hurts so bad, and I just, like, I don't know what to do. Please, guys, like, literally, like, what would you do in my situation? Like, I know it's so hard because you're not in my situation, but try to look at it from my perspective, and, like, I don't know, guys. Like, I need your help. I don't know what to do.
Story time about the worst talking stage I've ever been in my entire life. For context, this all was last summer before I started my new school. It was April. I had just left Texas. I was back in Atlanta. I'm like living my life, mass adding people on Snap. This guy was just a victim of the mass adding. And I was like talking to a few guys at the time. Like, I think I have, guys, it was bad. I think I was talking to like 3 or 4 guys at the time that this guy reached out to me. So like, I was like, oh, another one for the roster. I should have left it at that. This man was genuinely like hell on wheels, but without the wheels, because he lied to me about having a car and he didn't have a car. And he kept lying. He was like, oh, it's in the shop. Oh, I'm getting a new car. What's the story? What's the story? Are you getting a new car, or is your car in the shop? And then he would send me pictures of like these nice ass cars that like he like was supposedly getting. Guess what? He never got them. I literally wasted 3 months of my life on this stupid man. And it makes me so mad because I could have just gotten home and just like been a baddie, but no, she had to go mass adding stupid boys on Snap. This boy was the definition of love bombing. It's one specific memory. I was in Hawaii and this man was like, when we meet at the airport, like, I'm gonna pick you up and we're gonna elope. We've been talking for literally less than a month. He was also the biggest hypocrite ever. He would like tell me that I couldn't do things. Well, like, I do them anyway. I do not care, because like, this man is not my boyfriend. He cannot tell me what to do. Not that my boyfriend can tell me what to do, but like, it's more like, hey, we can have a discussion about it. But like, he would tell me that I couldn't do things and then go and do them, and then I'd be like, why can't I do them if you're literally doing the same thing? And he's like, it's different for me. No, the fuck it's not. You just want to have some sort of control because you're the most insecure man that I've literally ever talked to. He would also like call me every single night, like for hours on end. And the thing is, I don't even call my current boyfriend every night. I think, okay, I've been in a relationship where you call like every single night. It is genuinely so draining and so annoying, and I get so sick of the person. I'm like, please stop calling me. Like, I want to go have friends and like be by myself for a little bit. But when it's not even my boyfriend and he's calling me every second of like every single day, I'm like, do you not have a life? Like, you do not have a life. So I'm like talking to this guy, and I'm like talking to a few other guys and whatever. And funny thing is, we never hung out, like never in person. Like, we kept making plans, and he kept making plans to hang out, and then we just like were never able to hang out because something came up. Like, oh, my car's in the shop. Bitch, what car? What car? And he's like, I'll Uber to your house. No. Fast forward to July. So this was April to July. That is how many months I actually wasted on this person. I don't really care if like that's like, you shouldn't be saying that you wasted time on a person. Yes, I can say that because it was a waste of time and I deserved so much better. But I had just gotten my new car. She's like a cute little Bronco Sport. She's blue. She's like my baby and I love her. Shout out Sabrina. She's my favorite car I probably will ever own. And at this point, this man and I had decided, I was like, hey, can we like just be friends? Like, I can't do this, because he was like so overbearing. So we were like just friends, and he was like getting mad at me for like posting about like being at like another guy's house or whatever. Cause like he was still my private story, because like I like to make a man jealous. He saw that and he was like, well, you already hang out with other guys? Yes. But once I got my car, he slid up on my story and he was like, your car's kind of fugly. Oh my god, at least I have one. At least I have one. So at that point, I blocked him on everything. I blocked him on both my TikTok accounts. I blocked him on Snapchat and whatever. Fast forward to when I'm dating this other guy, like 3 months. No, literally 2 months, 3 months later. But anyways, this man like reached out to the guy I was dating at the time. So he was reaching out from his girlfriend's account to my boyfriend at the time because they were friends. And he's telling my boyfriend, he's like telling him like that I'm like a shitty person and whatever because I blocked him because you didn't have a car and you were literally so insecure and I literally could not take it anymore. But anyways, that shut down pretty quick. He was like warning my boyfriend about me. Which period, should have done it sooner. That relationship did not work anyway. But anyways, I deleted that old TikTok account that I hadn't blocked on. I made this one that I have now and started this one like October of last year. Fast forward to like 4 days ago. Guess who I get a DM from? Oh my god, it's my favorite person. That's a joke. He's not my favorite person. He could actually very much be my least favorite person ever. But I get a little DM from him and he's like, hey, can you unblock me on Snap? So, you know what I do? I unblock him on Snap because I'm like, oh, like, did he break up with his girlfriend? He did break up with his girlfriend because he's insecure. He's so insecure. And he's like telling me all this and I'm not even responding. I'm just like, he's like spam texting me what happened. And I'm like, okay. And listening to it, I was like, so she was dealing with the same thing I did. How about he grows up and focuses on himself before he gets into a relationship? But anyways, he's on Deliver now. I'm literally, after I do this makeup, first thing I'm doing is unadding him. I don't need his presence infiltrating my Zen right now. Because that is exactly what he's doing. Infiltrating my Zen. But yeah, he was definitely the worst person I think I've ever talked to. And he was short. Like, I don't usually have a type when it comes to, like, physically. But, like, if you're that short and you're lying about your height, I'm sorry, no thank you. I think that might have been one of the reasons he never wanted to hang out. But he will be blocked. Not on this TikTok account because I hope he sees this video. I do not care. Genuinely, boys like that literally make me so grateful for the guy that I'm dating now and that he's not insecure. Thank freaking the Lord. Genuinely, I think my boyfriend now is the least insecure guy that I've dated ever. And it is truly a blessing to actually have freedom in a relationship. So take this from me. If a man is love bombing you, if you do not think he's love, I'm gonna make a video on love bombing and like things that count as love bombing. Anyways, I'm done with my makeup. Hope y'all enjoy.
Story time of how this boy cheated on his girlfriend with me and like 30 other people. Actually, like more than that, but we'll get into that later. Now that I'm finally graduated, I can finally tell the story, so let's get started. So this all took place at the beginning of my senior year, so like 9-10 months ago, and me and this kid were snapping for a while, and I noticed he was on my school's football team, so I decided to follow him on Instagram one day after we were like snapping for like 3 months. So like seconds after I followed him on Instagram, he immediately texted me and he was like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was along the lines of, you're so pretty, or we should hang out, or whatever. So anyways, we wind up planning a hangout the following day. Again, why would I think he has a girlfriend at this point? He's asking me to hang out. He followed me back on Instagram. And 2 months before that, he called my friend pretty. So, like, why on earth would I think he has a girlfriend, you know? So, anyways, we go on the date, and we go on, like, an ice cream date. And you can tell that he was just there for one thing, and one thing only. But that's besides the point. So, we were at this ice cream place. Oh, yeah, also, I picked him up, which I thought was weird, but whatever, that's besides the point. We're at this ice cream place. He doesn't pay for my ice cream. So, I was like, okay. But he was just, like, looking around a lot, like, he was, like, scared someone was gonna, like, see him, which I thought was weird, but, like, I don't know, he was just, like, looking around, and I was like, do you, like, know someone that's here right now, like, what? Also, he was on his phone, like, the whole date, so I'm like, alright, let's, like, wrap it up, I'm just gonna drop you off, like, this is clearly not going well, you're not fully present, you're not even looking at me, I was, like, talking the whole time, he was, like, not responding to me, I was like, what? He was literally on his phone the whole time, but I'm one to speak up, so I was like, oh, like, what are you doing on your phone, like, you're not fully here right now, like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, the football group chat is blowing up my phone. I was like, you can at least listen to me, like, what kind of first date is this, bro? So, like, it was just not going well, literally at all. And then I finally, like, initiated things to, like, leave, and I'm gonna go drop him off because this is horrible. So now we pull up to his house, and he doesn't get out. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, actually, let's go to a park. I'm like, oh, hell no. This is, like, the start of, like, a murder documentary. Like, no. But I wound up going anyways, because I'm like, I'm in my own car. Like, I don't know. I didn't feel, like, unsafe. But yeah, all of a sudden, he actually starts listening to me and, like, talking. Like, the second we get to the park, I'm like, bro, I know what you're doing. It's not gonna work. It's not happening. Just stop trying. It's not happening. So then the park was a fail, so I wound up just driving back to his house. Again, he just wouldn't get out. So finally he gets out, and he texts me, like, 30 seconds after he gets out. And he's like, oh, like, I should have kissed you. I'm like, okay, like, please. Anyways, he winds up coming back, and then he comes back in my car, and we just, like, sit in his driveway for, like, a little bit and just, like, talk. And then, finally I'm like, okay, like, I need to pee, like, you need to, like, leave. I'm gonna pee my pants. So then I leave and go back to my house, and he's like, okay, come back. I'm like, I'm not driving 10 minutes back to your house. Like, I'm home for the night. Like, bro wanted me to drive back. Like, bro, we know what we were trying to do, and it's not gonna work. But honestly, the first half of the date was, like, not good. But then the second half, I'm like, okay, it's better. Like, maybe I will go on a second date with him. Anyways, he winds up, like, begging me to hang out again. So I was like, okay, sure. But I couldn't hang out till, like, 3 more days. Anyways. Okay, come back for part 2. Let's do a fun story time about one of my high school guy best friends and a really weird interaction that I just had with him. Also feels like I'm going to ballet class. Okay, anyways. So a few weekends ago, like, I guess 2 weekends ago now, I was just, like, out with my cousins. I'm driving back to my dorm, and I get a notification from Instagram, and it's from one of my high school guy best friends. Mind you, we were good friends our senior year of high school, but we could only be school friends, and, like, he had to block me on Snapchat, and he just couldn't talk to me because he wasn't allowed to have any, like, girlfriends. Now, I've known he's had a crush on me for a long time, and recently, because I have not talked to him, like, since graduation, almost a year ago. So my aunt does his hair because she's, like, a hairdresser, and it was, like, Christmas, and she just randomly told me, she's like, oh my gosh, we'll call him Alex. Alex is literally in love with you. All he does is talk about you his whole appointment. All he does is ask, oh, how's Valentina doing? How's school? How's she, you know? And she just tells me, she's like, he just speaks so highly of you. All he does is talk about you and ask about you. I'm like, that's so weird. Like, why can't he just, like, text me? Well, he can't because he is still with his girlfriend. So he just talks to my aunt about it. She's also my godmother, so obviously she's gonna tell me. So when he DM'd me, I wasn't surprised. Also, I guess Instagram was, like, the only thing his girlfriend let him text me on. Anyways, he DM'd me, and he was just like, hey, yo, how are you? In my head, I already knew that him and his girlfriend broke up, because every time they break up, he, like, texts me, and all of a sudden he's, like, interested in what's going on in my life. So whatever, I was just like, also, mind you, I have, like, no feelings towards him. He only has feeling towards me. Like, for me, it's, like, a strictly just friends thing. So every time they break up, like, I don't care. Like, sure, text me. Like, I'm not gonna ever, like, end up with you, but whatever. My aunt thinks we're, like, soulmates, which is honestly offensive to me. Anyways, yeah, they broke up, and we were just, like, texting for, like, literally 2 days. He was nonstop texting me. Like, every time I text him within, like, 30 seconds, got a response. Not even, like, 10 seconds sometimes. So, like, I was just whatever, I don't care. Like, I think he knows that I'm, like, way out of his league, and I think he knows that he could never pull me. And that sounds really rude, but you just have to know him to understand. So anyways, we went, like, 2 days just, like, sending vlogs and, you know, just, like, doing friend things, whatever. So then 2 days later, out of nowhere, he texts me, oh, me and my girlfriend got back together with a bunch of exclamation marks. So I responded. I was like, oh, well, guess I'll talk to you next time you guys break up. Like, just as, like, a joke, because every time they break up, he texts me and unblocks me on everything. And he was like, yup, see ya, like, with the CYA. And I was like, wait, are you kidding me right now? Like, is this a joke? And he's like, no, like, we actually got back together. I'm like, that's great. That's so cool. Anyway, so now the girlfriend follows me on Instagram. Like, girl, I was probably a threat to your relationship last year. Like, this year, I'm definitely not. So now I'm mad. I'm like, oh my god, like, he's telling her, like, I don't know what he's telling her. I don't want him to be like, oh, she's in love with me, because it's the opposite way around. So anyways, I asked him, I was like, so why is she following me on Instagram? Like, what did you tell her? And he was like, oh, well, I told her that I added you and we've been texting. I'm like, dude, what? So obviously I did not follow her back because I don't have the time for this childish, like, I have so much to do. I had homework, I had my life to live. Like, I don't have time for this high school shit. Mind you, like, we were finally gonna, like, hang out and reunite after, like, 9 months of not seeing each other. Obviously, just like a friend thing, I have no interest in him, literally at all. Like, I think I'd rather date anyone else but him. Anyways, obviously, I was like, well, I guess our reunion isn't happening anytime soon. He's like, yeah, probably not. So I was just like, okay, like, you added me, you wanted to talk to me, you broke up with your girlfriend, you're like, feels like he was like asking for pity. So I was like, now what? Like, you're back with your girlfriend, you're not gonna text me, like, I'm gonna block you. Instead of you blocking me this time, I'm gonna block you. Because, like, you can't do that. Like, so I finally blocked him. And then after that night, she unfollowed me on Instagram and she made him unfollow me on Instagram and remove me as a follower. Not blocked though, because guess what? I already know he's stalking me. He literally is the first viewer on every one of my stories. Like, I know he's stalking me and I know he's in love with me and no one can convince me otherwise because I know it's for a fact. Okay, so one last thing, my godmother and my aunt, she also, like, cuts, like, his whole family's hair. Like, his mom, I don't know about the dad, but you get the gist. And she was talking to his mom the other day at her appointment, and the mom was just like, oh yeah, he's totally in love with Valentina, and, like, something about, like, I know he's interested, and all this stuff about me. Like, I know their families having active talks about me. It's so funny. Like, it's actually romantic, you know? So the next day, after all this happened, my aunt actually had him for a hair appointment, and he was telling her, oh, I feel so bad about everything that happened. I hated the way it ended with Valentina. Like, be so for real. Like, literally, we were just talking as friends. Like, I don't care. I don't care. The worst part of it all is that we're, like, family friends. Like, his parents and my parents go way back. My parents and, like, his parents, like, they're all friends on Facebook. And every time my mom posts about me, his mom and his dad always, like, heart it. It's so funny. They probably wish that I could be their daughter-in-law. Anyways, guys, that's the story. That's the makeup. Very natural. I'm loving how it looked, actually. I need to, like, use this every day. But, bye, guys.
You guys asked for a story time on how I found out for sure that my ex-husband was cheating on me, and as a woman for the people, your wish is my command. Let's get into it. So I've mentioned it on here before, but I found, like, evidence that my ex was cheating on me the weekend of our 6th wedding anniversary, and we happened to be in Tennessee visiting my sister. So we're down at her place. We're visiting for the first time. She's in school in Tennessee to become a PA. She's gonna be a doctor, guys. She's so smart. So we were visiting her, and we were actually at a golf course with her and her boyfriend, because my ex and her boyfriend both like to golf. Now, for context, this trip was coming 2 months off the back of one of my ex's many crash outs. I have a pinned video about it, but basically he crashed out in front of my friends and caused, like, a whole thing. Like, I don't even know how to succinctly describe it to you, but basically he, like, threatened to run his truck through my friend's house and go on a murder spree and burn our house down. Yeah, he did. Saying these things out loud is like, ugh. Any hoodle, if you want to learn more about that, there's another video on that. But for context, so we're, like, trying to work through our relationship. He is supposed to be, like, that was his rock bottom, and he was gonna go to therapy and do all the work and really, like, do the damn thing in a way that he had never done before, when he, of course, always said that he was going to change. So me being who I am, I'm like, okay, this is your last chance. While we were separated, I suspected that he started cheating on me because he was hanging out with like his guy friends, but he was hanging out with girls in this friend group, and they started hanging out more and more and more. And then he was like doing home projects for her and her mom, and he was spending like every weekend with these people, and when he would be with them, he wouldn't text me. And so for like, he had the crash out incident. I said that I wanted some time to like really think about our relationship and whether I wanted to stay with him or not. He, for like a week, like literally 7 days max, says like, I'm in therapy, I'm really working on myself, I don't want to lose you, I'm so sorry. Like, just absolutely like on his hands and knees pleading with me to not divorce him. The following weekend, so weekend 1 crash out, 1 week of groveling, then the weekend after the crash out, he starts hanging out with these people. And each successive weekend, he's hanging out with them more and more. And he is like slowly pulling back from the groveling, and I can tell he's starting to like detach. And so that's when I started suspecting something was going on. I called off our separation because I was starting to like panic that it was doing more harm than good. And so he came back home, and we were like still working through things, but like together. But while we were doing this, he was still hanging out with this woman and like this friend group. And so after a certain point, I had expressed to him that I felt like the relationship was a little inappropriate and it made me uncomfortable. And like, was there something more to it? Or like, am I being crazy? And of course, as an emotional abuser and a narcissist, he told me that I was crazy and that they were just friends. So more and more, he would be hanging out with them. He would tell me like, oh, we're gonna go do this, and I'll be home by this time. And then it would be like several hours later that he would be home without having texted me or called me to tell me that he was gonna be running late. And there was even one night, it was like a weekday too, he went house hunting with this woman and one of their other friends as like her inspector, because he works in like maintenance. And that night he told me, I'll be home by 8 o'clock comes around, he's not home, I'm texting him, like just being like, hey, is everything okay? Where are you? He told me over the span of like 2.5 hours that he was on his way home and didn't come home until like 11. And then he got upset with me when I was upset that he kept telling me he was on his way home and he clearly wasn't. And he like blew it back on me for being like, you just don't like that I'm hanging out with people and you can't handle that like I'm not spending time with you and I'm like carving out these friendships and these relationships outside of our relationship, which again, emotional abuser, like narcissist, like typical. His birthday comes around in mid-September, and we had been fighting because of that incident that I just mentioned where he like came home late and didn't tell me and like this, that, and the other. And so the day after his birthday, had caught him Snapchatting this woman. And for context, my ex is like one of those people who like, he doesn't text, he's not on social media. Like if you text him, chances are he's like not gonna text you back as like a friend. And even for me, like we didn't have like enriching text conversations. He wasn't Snapchatting me. He's not like interacting with me on social media or anything like that. But he had downloaded Snapchat to Snapchat her. And like he hadn't even added me on Snapchat. I didn't know that he had downloaded Snapchat until I was in the bathroom one day and he had left his phone in the bathroom. And like, I am not the kind of person where I was going through his phone throughout our relationship, but because I was so on edge and so paranoid, I'm not condoning this behavior, and I know that it was like an invasion of privacy and it wasn't right for me. But I noticed when I saw his phone was still in the bathroom that one of his notifications was a Snapchat from her. I had Face ID on his phone. He like granted me that whatever. And so I was able to get into his phone and I knew his passcode too. So I opened the Snapchat and it was her talking shit about me. So he had like gone to her to talk shit about me, and she was talking mad shit back. And so I wrapped up what I was doing in the bathroom, and I silently took his phone over to him, and the look on his face was just like immediately like, oh fuck. So we fought about that, and he again tries to tell me that like, we're just friends. I shouldn't have been talking about you, and I shouldn't let her like talk about you, but like there's really nothing more going on. And so a few days later, after the Snapchat, I confronted him, and I don't even remember why at this point. I think I was still upset about the Snapchat thing, and he got mad at me for still being upset about it, because he's like, you're making a big deal out of nothing, and you're making me feel bad about having friends, kind of thing. And so I don't remember what prompted it, but I was like, show me your text messages. There was a reason. I don't remember what it was. And so he ordinarily would just hand over his phone to me and like let me freely look through it. He's like scrolling in their message history to like get to some specific spot, and I'm like, give me your phone, give me your phone, give me your phone, while he's doing this. And he eventually does hand it over, and it's at a spot where like on his birthday, he was telling her about how shitty his birthday was because he and I were fighting and I was making it miserable, and she was like, you don't deserve that. She has no right to be jealous. Like, she needs to get over the fact that we're friends and like you're gonna be in my life whether she likes it or not. Calling him honey, which really was like, really sent me into the ether. So I'm reading these things and I'm like mouth open, jaw dropped, like starting to cry, really upset, obviously, right? And so he yanks his phone out of my hands and he starts yelling at me for being upset, you guys. He started yelling at me and telling me, like, he whips like a suitcase out from under our bed and he's like, I'm not staying here if you're gonna be like this. You're like being crazy, you're overreacting, like yelling at me. I can't even remember all of the things that he said, but they were truly horrible. And when I was like, you at the very least are having an emotional affair with her, he was like, that's so disgusting that you would say that, and starts just like losing his shit over me suggesting that he's having an affair. And like it turned into a huge catastrophe of a situation. I fear we're at time, so part 2, hang on, I'll put it up on my page. I'm gonna record however many parts this is, and then I'm going to upload them in succession. So if you want part 2, go to my page. Okay, part 2 of how I found out my ex was cheating on me. I know we're kind of taking a circular route to, you're like, but you were in Tennessee. Like, what? You need this context, okay, for what happened in Tennessee. So we're like screaming at each other after I am allowed to read a certain portion of text messages between my ex and the other woman. It turns into like a screaming, crying debacle. And so when I start losing my shit, like, I don't lose my shit very often, you know? And this is very unhealthy. Like, this moment for me was like, this is so unhealthy. So talking about it is like, I'm not condoning this behavior. This is simply what happened. So as soon as I started losing my shit on him, like screaming at him, then he calmed down and was like, hey, I think you need to calm down. Like, let's do some breathing exercises together, being very condescending. And all of a sudden, like, now that I'm absolutely losing my shit, he's like, whoa. So I do calm down after, you know, a couple minutes, and I'm like, I am going to go to my friend's house. I have a friend who is married, and I really trust her for advice on all things, really. She's a really wonderful person. And so I was like, I am going to go to their house, and I am going to talk to them, and I'm going to have them tell me whether or not I'm being crazy like you're telling me I am. And so then he's like upset that I'm gonna go tell them about like all this that's happened. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going over there right now because I need to like have someone tell me, like, if I'm being out of pocket, then like they will tell me if I'm being crazy, because you're telling me I'm being crazy right now, and like I just want someone to reaffirm that. And before this, when he yanked his phone out of my hands when I was reading the text messages, I was being like, this is literally a betrayal. Like, how could you have done this to me? and he was saying like, you're making it a big deal out of nothing. I was like, then let me screenshot all of this and send it to other people and we can see what they think. And then he ripped his phone out of my hand and was like, no, we're like, you're not taking screenshots of fucking shit. And then it went from there. So I go over to my friend's house. I get about like 3 words into like, he's spending every weekend with her, and they go, oh, so he's cheating on you. Like, I didn't even have to explain the whole thing to them. In like a matter of 2 minutes, they were like, so he's cheating on you. And that like really said it all to me. And so in that moment, my girlfriend was like, babe, I think you need to divorce him. Like, I know you don't want to, but like, he's not getting any better. He's rapidly getting worse. Like, you know? And so I basically tell her, like, I just don't feel like I'm ready to do that. And like no fighting. The cats are fighting. The prospect of navigating, like figuring out how to divorce and figuring out how I'm going to support myself and be a single person. Like, I don't have a job that pays high enough to support myself at that time, which is why I'm making these videos, because I know how fucking petrified I was at the outset of even thinking about leaving him. That like, I really want to share knowledge and share my story with people so that it's less daunting for others. Anyways, so I come back home, and basically after my friends were like, okay, if you don't want to divorce him, then like what you need to do is you need to go home and you need to tell him like, you either like block her and quit talking to her, or like, I'm leaving you. And so that's what I did. I came home, I gave him the ultimatum, which I shouldn't have even had to do in the first place, but I did. And he threw a little fit about it and was like trying to just delete apps off of his phone. And I was like, no, you're going to go in and you are going to block her number and like her account or whatever. And so he basically like flung his phone at me, and he was like, you fucking do it then, because I don't know how. And then while I was doing that, because he was essentially refusing, I went to his messages to block her number, and I saw that he had deleted all of his messages with her from the like main iMessage folder. So I go into his recently deleted message folders, and wouldn't you know it, he deleted them from there too. Massive red flag, right? Like scarlet, neon, blinking, flashing. Like, I knew in that moment, like that was enough for me. That's so suspicious. You not only deleted the messages that he selectively let me look through, but he deleted them from his messages folder. I knew in that moment. But he agreed to block her and not talk to her anymore. And so I was like, okay. So that was mid-September, and then the weekend we were visiting my sister in Tennessee was October 11th and 12th. So about 4 weeks had gone by, 3 or 4 weeks. And in that time, I was like, have you been talking to her? Have you heard from her? Have you like gotten any updates about her through like the friends that you guys have in common? And he was telling me like, no, like mutual friend said that she doesn't talk to him anymore. And I'm like, yeah, it's because like you're not around anymore. And then like something else that I'm remembering from when they were like hanging out before I told him that like I felt like their relationship was inappropriate or whatever, he again was like doing work for her and her mom, because she lives with her mom. And he told me he was coming home at a certain point and then was late because they just insisted that they cook him a steak dinner as a thank you. So like her mom was in on this too, which is just like so just like absolutely disgusting to me. Like, women should not be doing this to women. I don't fault the other woman when she also is in the dark, that like the man is pulling like a double time situation. But if the woman knows what's going on, this woman, her mom, and her best friend were all in on it and like actively rooting against me. The wife, like it would be bad enough if it was just like I was his girlfriend. I was his wife, and they were all like plotting to intervene in our relationship, actively intervening in our relationship. So we go to Tennessee. We're on the golf course with my sister and her boyfriend. We've been having a really great weekend. We are towards the end of the course. I think we're on like the second to last hole, and even though I kept asking him, like, you haven't been talking to her, have you? I just had like a suspicious feeling in my gut about it. And again, historically not a person who looks through my partner's phone, but while he was on the green, finishing up the hole, he had left his phone on the seat of the golf cart, and I picked it up and I checked his messages, and there wasn't anything in his messages. And I went to his recently deleted folder, and there were messages between him and her best friend. Now, I have a pinned video exposing these messages and like what exactly they said, but highlights among the things were he fell for her so hard so fast, he can't talk to her right now because I'm making him not talk to her, but he intended to pick up the relationship like sometime in the future if she wasn't like so upset with him, and that they agreed to enjoy their time together, among many other things. And so of course it feels like a punch in the gut. We're having this good weekend. It's our anniversary weekend. We're visiting my sister. We didn't travel very much, and like here I am finding out that like, oh, I was right all along. Imagine that. So he's walking back from the green. He's got a big smile on his face. I'm sitting there like shaking and just feeling like absolutely both like shook and numb at the same time. He sits down and like sees my face and he's like, what's wrong? And I just like hand him his phone. And again, the deflation of his body that like I just got caught is exactly what happened. And so he immediately tries telling me like, it's not what it seems like. I was just saying that as a friend. And I just like, in what world? I fell for her so hard, so fast. She's too tempting. That was another thing. We agreed to enjoy our time together. In what world does one talk to a friend like that? Part 3, baby. Take a drink. My mouth is dry from 20 minutes of storytelling. I'm drinking an Alani Nu. Pink Slush is my favorite flavor. So we still have 2 holes left on this golf course. And my sister's poor boyfriend. This is the first time I had met him in person. This is the first time he's meeting my ex. And he is an unwitting witness to the explosive end to our 10-year relationship, 6-year marriage. Before my ex came back from the green, my sister noticed that I was like, that something was wrong as I was reading these messages, and she's like, what's going on? And so like I give her the phone to read them, and she's like, what the fuck is this? And I hadn't told her about the whole like suspected affair thing, because like of course when you're in that situation, you don't want your family and friends to know what a shitty fucking person your partner is, right? So I was trying to like give her the quick and dirty fill-in while I'm like in shock digesting this and like knowing that they're gonna come back to the golf cart soon. So my sister's like, what the fuck? Her boyfriend has no idea what's going on. My ex comes back to the golf cart. I hand over his phone. He immediately is crestfallen and making up excuses that simply make no sense. And I am pretty much just silent. Basically, I was telling him, like, so I was right all along. And I had told him too, like, if you continue this with her, like, I am going to leave you. And so I was basically like, we're done. Nothing that you say is going to change my mind. I cannot believe that you would do this, and I hope that she was fucking worth it to you. And I'm a girl's girl, so like, I'm not gonna say a whole lot more about her on here. But how do I put this in a somewhat tame way? In my opinion, she was not worth it, you know? He's trying to like bargain with me, he's making excuses, he's trying to beg, and I'm just like not responding to him at this point. And so we had driven to the golf course, which was like 45 minutes away from my sister's place, in one car. So me and my ex are like silent in the back seat. My sister's trying to like navigate the situation. Her boyfriend still has no idea what's going on. And so I'm equal parts cold shouldering my ex on this 45-minute long car ride back to my sister's place and trying to contribute like a little bit to the conversation that my sister and her boyfriend were having while my ex is completely silent, just to like kind of help smooth over the awkwardness of like what's happening here. Because I feel like, I know that it's not like I shouldn't have to feel bad, but I felt bad because again, I'd like never met this guy. It just was, it was not ideal. We could say it was not ideal, right? So we get back to my sister's place. Not a word was uttered between me and my ex. She kind of like pulls me aside and she's like, hey, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, I'm gonna take him inside and talk to him. I'm gonna figure out how to go home, basically, but I'm not going home with him. So she's like, okay, I'll fill my boyfriend in and whatever. And so me and my ex go inside and he's like, is there anything that I can do to like make you feel better or like change, like I'm really sorry? And I'm like, no. I had told him 2 years before this, when we had the first like major thing happen between us that like my family was witness to, that if he ever pulled some shit like that again, I was going to leave him. I gave him 2 extra chances past that, one of them being the first weekend that caused our separation, and then the other being like this relationship thing that was going on that he told me was nothing. And so I have like concrete hard proof that he did indeed cheat on me. And I'm like, this is it. I've given you chances past the last chance that I said I was going to give you. Like, we're done. I am divorcing you. And like, you need to find your own way home. We had driven down there. I was like, because we're not driving back together. And when we both do get back home, you're gonna go pack up your shit and you're gonna find somewhere else to stay because I'm done. So he's like crying and like kind of groveling, but also seems to be kind of like just like accepting that the situation is what it is. And so he calls a friend to see if they, one of the friends from the friend group, if they would come pick him up, and they agree. And so I pack all my shit, because at this point I just wanted to be home. Like, my sister was like, are you sure that you don't want to stay at my place? She was like, she was just trying to offer a bunch of different solutions, and I was like, no, I appreciate it, but I just want to go home. So I left like quite soon after I was done talking to my ex, and I drove home by myself. And on the way, I called my best friend that I had gone over to her house to like consult about the whole thing when it first happened with the texts and the Snapchats. And I was like, guess what? You were right. And so I was like filling her in and telling her like I'm divorcing him. And then I like call my mom and I fill her in about everything. And then I told 2 of my other best friends who were involved in some of the situations too. So that is how I found out that my ex was cheating on me. And then he continued to say for weeks after that he didn't cheat on me, and that he was just saying all of that in a friend way. And then he eventually did. Once he realized that I wasn't going to back down from my decision to divorce him, he eventually did like weaponize the fact that he cheated on me by being like, and I did cheat on you, and I hope you fucking know that because you were never good enough. Like, he was like admitting it because it was all he had left in his arsenal to try to hurt me with. And at that point I'm like, this is very unsurprising to me. So I guess kudos to you for owning your very obvious shit many weeks later. During the first week after we got back and I was like, I'm divorcing you, he was very like, cry, beg, please, I'll do better. Is there anything I can do to change your mind? I like stuck to my guns, even though I did have like, I had a very heavy moment of wavering about 3 days after the whole like weekend thing went down, but I stuck to my guns. And then the following week is when he started doing the psychotic mood swings on me. I hate you, to please don't leave me, to fuck you, I did cheat on you a lot, to can I just have one last hug? Like, and that pretty much catches you guys up with the part 1 and 2 of crazy texts my ex sent me during our divorce. So yeah, I also have a protective order against him, and I have a video on that. That one's pinned. Part 1 of the crazy texts he sent me during our divorce is pinned, and then the in-depth reveal of the text between the other woman's best friend and him is also a pinned video if you want to binge all of these things. It's a playlist too, because thanks to you, I have 10,000 followers now, 10,000 plus, and I can make playlists now. So I hope you enjoyed the story time and it provided you with more weekend entertainment. And again, thank you guys for following along. If you've been through something like this, I'm so sorry, but like, girl, we are better off without all that, okay? Like, the sun is shining literally, and it's all gonna be fine. I was in an emotionally abusive relationship and didn't realize it, part 4, where I tell you about instances from my past with my ex that I look back on now and realize are categorically instances of emotional abuse. I have a playlist with parts 1 through 3 below if you want to hear even more about subtle, very nuanced things that qualify as emotional abuse that in the moment it's hard to see it for what it is. So whenever we would argue and I would want space and I would go into like another room to cool down or something, my ex would always follow me into that room, even if I explicitly like said like I need space or like stop following me, stop badgering me. He would like follow me from room to room. He would not give me space, and he would like continue on with the beration. And I always found that really, really, really frustrating and hurtful. He also took to calling me whiny quite frequently towards the end of our relationship whenever I was upset about something and trying to explain how I felt. He would call me whiny, and that really hurt my feelings. If I wasn't in the mood for bedroom activities, or if we had already done kind of in abundance. There are kids screaming going down my street. I love the youth. Anyways, if we had already done like kind of an abundance of bedroom activities, and I wasn't in the mood to partake in such things, he would sometimes tell me that he thought I was asexual or a lesbian, which like I wish I liked women like that. I wish. Sexuality is truly not a choice. I am tragically straight. But I always got really frustrated when he would tell me that I was either like asexual or bisexual or a lesbian as like a reason to justify making himself feel better that I wasn't in the mood to like appease all of his proclivities. When we met, I was in college, and we met at the job that I was working in college. And so he had dropped out of college. He was 2 years older than me, and he was working this job full-time. I was working it part-time, sometimes up to full-time hours while going to school as a full-time student. And for years after I graduated, my ex would sometimes hold over my head like this idea that like he supported me while I was in college, while totally neglecting the fact that like I was also working anywhere from like 20 to like 36 hours a week. Normally I would try not to go over 32, but like if I could maintain the load and like I had the time and there were shifts that were open that like people were asked if they wanted to pick them up, like I would do that. And so I always got really frustrated when he would be like, well, I sacrificed so much at the beginning of our relationship because I supported you full-time while you went to school. And it's like, I mean, yeah, you worked full-time, but I wasn't, like, I was working too. What? He would also get mad at me if I wouldn't like get over something soon enough, in his like opinion. Like I had kind of an allotted time where I was allowed to be upset, and if I was still upset about something, or like, you know how sometimes you have a fight or an argument with someone and you like resolve it, but you're still like not in the mood to go back to like tee-hee laughing and like having a good time, like you're kind of still just like in a state of being emotionally drained. If I was ever like that, he would get mad at me for not like flipping the switch and just being like gung-ho lovey-dovey to his liking. He really, really didn't like when I asked my friends for their opinion on our relationship. Peaches, can you, queen? It was about halfway through our relationship that I made some really, really good solid friendships with my best friends to this day. And before that, I kind of didn't have a lot of friends or good solid friendships. So once I did make solid friendships with women that are extremely intelligent and I really respect, obviously it becomes easy to, you know, ask them for advice or, you know, talk about things that are going on in life or whatever. And my ex really, really didn't like when I would A, tell people about like fights we were having or disagreements or whatever, and then B, if I like asked someone for advice or if I shared with him like, well, like this person affirmed that like they don't think that what I'm saying is crazy or that I'm like in the wrong or anything, he would get upset and then he would like go off about how like no matter how he felt, I would always find a way to say that I was right and he was wrong, and like basically was saying that I was invalidating his feelings every single time, and like I refused to see the situation from his side when like I felt like he was doing that to me. And like he, as a narcissistic emotional abuser, now looking back, like he was not willing to see it outside of his own point of view or like realize that the things he was getting hung up on were like truly not happening. Like they were non-issues on my end and he was making them issues like inside his own mind. I'm gonna drop this nugget here. I need to do like a story time in a separate video, but my wedding sucked. My wedding blew fucking chunks for several reasons. But one of the big ones was that I kept having to like chase my ex down during our wedding to do like the order of wedding activities. Like the DJ would come up to me and he'd be like, hey, are you ready to do like this event or this game or activity or whatever? And I would have to like, I had to keep chasing down my ex, and my mom was like having to help me keep chasing down my ex because he was more concerned with like socializing with his buddies out in the parking lot of our venue than like, you know, celebrating getting married and partaking in this once in a lifetime event with his new wife. My wedding was seriously a fucking horror show. In the very beginning of our relationship, after our first date, there was a red flag where I was like, I don't know if this person's for me. And so we were supposed to hang out again, and I was kind of like feeling like I don't know about it. So I had texted him and told him like, I'm not really feeling well, can we rain check? And he was like passive aggressive shitty with me in his response, being like, oh yeah, I guess, like no punctuation, not being friendly or anything. No, like, oh, I hope you feel better. No, is there anything I can bring you? Is there anything I can do for you? None of that. And so like I mentioned, we worked together. So I go in for my next shift, and he was my supervisor. He was one of my supervisors. So I went in and I asked him like, where do I need to go? And he was like giving me the cold shoulder, and it was a grocery store that we worked at. So he's like he's overseeing self-checkout while giving cashiers and baggers their like assignments on where to go. So I go up to him, I'm like, where do I need to go? He's overseeing self-checkout, he's giving me the cold shoulder, and there's this other girl who like, she needed help with something like I don't know if it was an ID check or something, but he like gave me the cold shoulder, stopped talking to me to help her, which is like fine because that's part of the job, but he was being like very obviously intentionally like smiley and flirtatious with her, and I clocked that shit for what it was in the moment. I knew that he was butthurt that I like canceled our plans, and he was trying to like get back at me by flirting with another girl, and I was like, okay. And all of these things, like, they're such clear red flags, but I don't know, like in the moment, just like making excuses and justifications for the behavior, and like some of it is so subtle that like you don't really realize until it adds up over time and you start to see the pattern of it all. I have a lot more things. I have a literal iPad list in front of me. So I'll keep making additional parts. So sorry if you've experienced this too. And if you haven't realized, if you have experienced these things and haven't realized that it's emotional abuse, like it is, and you're not crazy, and you should leave that person. My TikTok got banned for a week, and I'm pretty sure it's because my ex reported my account. So let's read some crazy texts that he sent me during our divorce. TikTok put a restriction on my account where they weren't circulating my videos because I was allegedly posing as someone else or another organization in a confusing manner. Never did that. And so the more that I was thinking about it over the course of this past week where I haven't been able to share anything, I suspect that either my ex reported my account from his burner account where he still watches my videos from because I blocked his actual account, or one of the loser misogynists that I've been shit talking on my account reported me. In any case, I have two celebratory ideas because my ex did, after all, call me a petty little see you next Tuesday, and I'm really trying to embrace that identity, okay? So today I thought we would take a look at some of the texts that my ex sent me while we were in the process of getting a divorce. If you didn't like me talking about all the things you did to me before, I don't think you're gonna like it very much now. Okay, so we're just gonna go in chronological order from when I had filed to the longer that this thing has gone on, okay? So this was mid-November. I filed for divorce on October 22nd. And up to this point, we were still splitting bills for the house and utilities and our debt payments per the legal advice from my attorney and then an attorney that he spoke to but never hired. He went through the divorce without any representation. So I'm gonna put him up here too so you can read along and know that I'm not just making this up. On November 17th, he said, "I just also don't think I need to pay half of the bills if you've got someone staying with you in the house. They can pay because I'm not even using half of what I'm paying for. If some guy is going to be staying in my house with my wife, then he can pay the bills. That's all I'm saying. Never once have I had any other man inside my house since we separated, to literally this day." So he was just throwing around barbs to try to get a rise out of me and throw a little bitch fit, which I'm not your wife because you cheated on me. So how are you going to be upset at the possibility of someone else, of another man being inside your house with your wife? You already gave these things up. I was not giving him the response that he wanted. "I will not live without you. I can't. I can make this right." And I said, "You need to stop for yourself and for me, please." And he said, "I can't. I love you. I don't want to let you go, please." Or buckle in, trigger warning if you have sensitivities to unaliving threats. Or just let me end myself so you will be happy without me in your life. I've wanted to for years and now I have nothing stopping me. Just tell me it's okay so this can all be over. And I said no, and that I'd call the police if he wouldn't shut the fuck up, because he used to threaten that all the time whenever he wasn't getting his way, and he never once did anything. No self-harm, no unaliving, nothing. Okay, I'm just realizing now that these were not all on November 17th. I screenshotted them on November 17th. And if you're wondering, Alyssa, why did you screenshot all of these horrible, awful things? I did it in case I needed it in the divorce and I needed to hand over his unhinged behavior as evidence in a court of law. I don't know what the dates of these things are, so I'm gonna stop mentioning that part. Just saw you on Bumble, LOL. You have nice pics on there. I've been told Facebook dating is better if you can get it. It doesn't show up for me yet. You should try it. People are more real and not just looking for sex. Unless that's all you're looking for, then try Tinder. Also, with you keeping the investment, we invested in Lauren and Michael Bostic's company, Woo More Play, which is like a sex positive, like lube, toy, like hygiene business that I'm all about sex positivity and products that actually work really well. So this is what he's talking about. Also, with you keeping the investment, are you wanting to keep all that lube? Part of the program was that we got 12 free bottles, one every month for a year. Or can I still have a few bottles? Just wondering. Either way is fine. And then, I really do want you to be happy. I'm not trying to fight with you anymore. So he's giving me dating advice after just having been shitty with me about like having an imaginary man in the house. Is he hiding in a closet, in the oven? I don't really know. And he also wants lube, which is a bar to be like, oh, I'm having sex, so can you help me facilitate that? Thank you. Next, I really hope you do find someone, Alyssa. I genuinely mean that. My therapist told me I shouldn't date yet, so I'm not meeting anyone yet. That, and I'm not going to lie and say I'm fully divorced yet. I'm not fucking up again. If you ever need a way out of a date, don't hesitate. I'll be there, no questions asked. I said, stop being weird. I don't want to talk about this. He said, I'm not being weird, just trying to be supportive. I still care about you and just want you to be happy and safe. You're being fucking weird. This is still weird. First of all, weaponizing therapy against me. I was on dating apps for like a grand total of 4 weeks, simply like looking to boost my ego and have men tell me that I'm pretty, which is like not healthy, which is why I'm no longer on the dating apps, you know? But he stumbled across my dating profile, even though I tried to block his number from the outset so that wouldn't happen, which led to him giving me dating advice, making a subtle dig at me by saying like his therapist said that he shouldn't date yet, therefore I should not be doing that either, is the implication. And then he, again, is just being weird. He was just harassing me about having fictional men in the house. And now I'm getting dating advice, so interesting. Ooh, the tides are changing because this is how it would go. Okay, so we have, I was not trying to fight. I really want you to move on. I don't want to be with you anymore. But I don't feel right moving on till you do. That's why I asked. He kept, after he found out I was on dating apps, he kept harassing me about who I was dating, if I was dating, etc., etc. Context. If you aren't mentally able to talk about it, then I'll just leave you alone about it and just continue what I've got going on. I just want you to be happy after suffering for 10 years. I fucked up, I know this, but you chose the divorce. We could have fixed it. But you gave up. That's on you. I'm moving on because you said you don't want to be with me. Once again, your choice. So you shouldn't be upset about any of it. Okay. I gave up after tolerating a wide variety of emotional abuse, cheating behind my back, lo and behold, I come to find out about, and what led to us divorcing was him getting caught cheating on me. We could have fixed it, but I gave up. I gave up. You stepped out, and I tried to fix everything for a decade, and then you crossed the one line that I had made very, very clear was my hard limit. So I don't really think it's on me. Okay, I'm gonna need to do a part 2 because there are just so many crazy texts that he sent me, and we're really getting to the good stuff now. But I'll leave you with this. Do I need to show back up at the house to talk? Because that will be the next step. Haha, no, now she won't answer. This is a thing that he liked to do where he'd pretend to be texting someone else and send it to me. And for context, we had just gotten off the phone trying to coordinate a time for him to come get some of his stuff, and he turned that phone call into harassing and berating me, so I hung up on him. Okay, so as soon as I want to talk, you get all shitty and start fighting me. I think you are the immature one. You don't know how to treat a man, and that's why we fell apart. That's why I cheated on you, because you do this, and you will never be happy. You are the one this whole time that needed to change, because the way you process is fucked up. You'll never meet a man worth a damn and keep him acting the way you do. Go ahead and take me to court if you want. I don't want anything we built together. I hate that I married you, and I hate you. I tried to have a conversation with you, and you just got shitty with me instead of talking about it. So yeah, I'm mad and saying shit. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're like rapidly mood swinging here. I will need shit out of the house eventually. If you don't let me have my stuff, I will call the police. I'm sure you're so mad you won't respond because you feel you should get everything you want. When you checked out and I wanted love, guys, he cheated on me. This, obviously he's unwell, but like, make it make sense, right? You stopped loving me a long time ago, like you said, so I don't know why you pretend to be so fazed by this, but hire your lawyer friends to get whatever you want, because I don't want shit besides my tools and half the money. Cats and everything else is your problem. Stay tuned for part 2. Crazy text my ex sent me during our divorce part 2, because I'm pretty sure he tried to get me banned from TikTok. Okay, so if you haven't seen part 1, go back and have a look at her, but we're just gonna get right into it. Okay, we can do this however you want, hard or easy. I've also had a lot of people tell me how trashy you are looking, blasting everything on social media. I told them to let you talk shit, just wanted to let you know it looks bad on you. Just think about it next time, LOL. This was in like December. I've still been running my mouth on here, okay? Like, now we have an essay. I'm just trying to get this over with as quick and easy as possible from here on out. We both have regrets about one another, but no, since I'm making the divorce hard, neither of us want this, so why should we be mad or upset? We are both free from the hell we put ourselves in 10 years ago, so there's no reason to be upset about any of this. I'm sorry I handled it wrong and wanted to save this. Again, he cheated on me, you guys. He cheated on me. And when I wouldn't change my mind about divorcing, after the one hard limit that I established over the course of 10 years of emotional abuse, he decided that he was just gonna blame the end of our relationship on me. Let me resume. I was angry about losing you, and I now see it's for the best. There was a lot I gave up, including my happiness, to be with you, and it wasn't worth it. I was blinded by the comfort of it all, and we should have ended this before we ever got married. I'm sorry I let it go for so long, and I'm sorry I turned into an ass during the process of me withering away in depression. I have not had to take my anger or depression meds since we split, and the doctor is actually taking me off of them. I sincerely doubt this because he's got bipolar disorder, and I can't see any physician being like, oh yeah, divorce, say less, you're good now. You don't have that anymore. I digress. Marriage was killing me, and I will not do that to myself anymore. So I'm done fighting with you, done arguing with you. I'll pay whatever I need to pay so we can get this finalized so I can finally be happy. So please, if you want to be shitty and guns blazing, then save it for your next relationship, because I want no part of it, and I will not be partaking in the shitty attitude. Okay. Do you see, again, bipolar disorder, I feel like that just explains everything if you've seen part 1. Because the mood swings and the back and forth and the anger and the I'm so sorry, please don't leave me, just kidding, I fucking hate you of it all is, excuse me, exactly that. We've got another essay. I hope you find whatever it is you need in your life to be happy. You clearly are sad and need something. You need to move on so you can forget about all this and not make it harder. You're stealing my cats. Do you remember in part 1 when he said cats and everything else are your problem? Just throwing that out there. But again, I digress. You're stealing my cats and getting rid of them. I literally still have all of them. You are going to catch bad karma for being a nasty lowlife of a person doing this. He's an emotional abuser, serial cheater, lowlife himself, so I'm pretty sure all the bad karma is. Again, I digress. I'm digressing a lot. I know you don't care about these cats, and you want to try to hold them over me. Literally just trying to keep them out of the hands of someone who's probably going to hurt them, neglect them, get rid of them himself. You need to let me go and stop holding on, Alyssa. Just give me my cats and I will make it work in the cabin. When he says cabin, he means the glorified shack that he was living in, that he was telling me not but a few weeks before this, that the cats would literally die if they were out there, and was asking me to wait until he could get another place because it was uninhabitable for cats, because again, it's a glorified shack that's got like holes in the structure and there are coyotes out there. So again, so sorry for digressing. Also, tell your attorney to hurry up and get it over with. She gets paid, so she needs to do her damn job. I fear he doesn't know how being an attorney works, because dude, it's like being a doctor where you can't just show up as a patient and demand to be seen by the doctor. Like there's an order of appointments. There's like a process for this. I can't just go up to her and be like, bitch, you need to get this thing rolling. Because trust me, like I want it to be done too, okay? But I have enough brain cells to know that that's not how this thing works. A little bit of patience on your end while you're crashing out. I fear you might have needed that, sir. But alas. But of course, you aren't grown up enough to have a conversation with me, so you hide behind an attorney who's just trying to fuck up my life. Funny part is, you can't handle any of it like an adult. Your life is better without me, so why are you making this so hard? The funniest part is that he's saying that like my attorney is trying to fuck up his life. He got out of our marriage scot-free. Did he get the house? No. But I took on all of our joint debt, so I wouldn't have to fucking stay in contact with him to make sure that he was holding up his side of the bargain to contribute 50% of it. So I took on thousands of dollars of debt so that he wouldn't have to. He didn't have to pay me anything. He didn't hire an attorney, so he didn't have to pay attorney's fees. Meanwhile, I paid like $3,000 to get all of this fucking taken care of because his tomfoolery fucking ass. And so it's just like, it's pure comedy to me at this point. And at that point, I mean, I had kind of like stopped responding to him pretty much altogether before that. But I really just put the kibosh on the whole thing and started telling him to just ask my attorney whenever he had a question about something or wanted to bitch about something, or I just didn't respond. And then you might have seen it now. But after our divorce was finalized on February 10th, he crashed out over a TV that we got for free, that he legally signed over to me when he signed the dotted line on our settlement agreement. And I said that I wouldn't give it to him. And then I sold it because petty little cunt, why not? So I'm so happy that my account is no longer being suppressed because not that I don't love being petty, but I really, really love sharing all of the kind of like divorce and like single 30-year-old girl life updates, things that are going on in my life. I knew that it was helping me as much as it was helping some of you guys, but I didn't realize fully until I literally wasn't able to connect with you because my account was being suppressed and I was like shadow banned by TikTok, how much it was truly helping me. So looking forward to updating you guys on some things. I had made a couple drafts to save for when I could post again based on some things that have happened over the past week. And yeah, I have a couple ideas on my checklist of videos to share, content to share, so stay tuned for that. And I'm so thankful for all almost 5,000 of you who are following along. It means a lot to me, and I love that we have this kind of like online network where we can encourage each other, support each other, share information, help each other out, because divorce is really confusing and overwhelming, and there's a lot of stigma around being divorced, and I'm seeing kind of the tides turn within like women ourselves talking about how being single is actually kind of great, and that like marriage is a scam and all of those kind of things. Not to say that I'm like every man's bad, all marriages are bad. Like, I think there are good men. I think marriage can be really, really wonderful and lovely, but I also unfortunately just think that's a lot more rare than we're brainwashed to believe with the Disney fairy tales and the romance books and the rom-coms and this, that, and the other. Okay, so yeah, that's just the things that I like to talk about. So if you want to like join along, come on into the circle, sister. Would love to have you.
I had to pick out a new wedding dress the day before my wedding. So it all started because I wanted this dress. I'll list it right here. It's the Galia Lahav Catalina dress. And that dress, it was definitely over my budget. I think it's about $15,000, including like the skirt and like the veil and all that stuff. Well over my budget. And I was like, dang, like I really want this dress. Like, this is my dream dress. How can I make it affordable? So growing up, there was this designer, I'm not going to say their name, but at my high school, they would design all of these dresses for prom. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe I should ask this person. Because, like, I know of them, like, I've seen what they do. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to reach out. So, of course, I reached out on Instagram, and I had been following them for a while. So I reached out, and I was like, can you make this wedding dress for me? My budget is this amount, and I just sent, like, the picture and, like, everything with it. And they're like, yeah, of course we can. Like, I can do it. And I was like, great. So the kicker is I actually moved to Hawaii. I moved here, and I've been here for, like, 4 years, but I am actually from Kansas City, Missouri. So I've been talking back and forth with this person via like text for the entire 8 months, I want to say. I can't remember exactly. My wedding was like 5 months ago. So I was like, you know what? Let's make this video after I'm calm and after everything's worked out. And yeah. So anyways, I think I had about 3 fittings that I went to in person. So like, even though I lived in Hawaii, I still went out to Kansas City because that's where my wedding was. So I had my bachelorette there. I had my engagement pictures there. And so I had a reason to go out there. So every time I had something scheduled in Kansas City, that's when I would also schedule my fittings. So after we paid the deposit, a few weeks go by and I'm like, hey, like I'll be in town this day for my engagement pictures. Is there any way that we can schedule our fitting? Schedule the fitting in, like it went by normal. I went there and that's when I like told them about my vision and like basically everything that I wanted. And so I sent the link to the exact fabric to get, so that way the next time I come in town for my fitting, it'll pretty much almost be done. So fast forward to September, when my bachelorette was, and my wedding is in October. So the last fitting was in April, and then I didn't come back for my next one until September, which is a good amount of time to finish a dress. So I came in expecting for my dress to be like 90% done, considering everything was pretty much paid for and it's been like 5 months since. And so we scheduled a day. The day comes and they say that they can't make the fitting. I'm like, okay, no worries. It's not like I flew in from Hawaii. No worries. So then we go and reschedule it for a different day. And then that works out. I go there and nothing's ready. Literally nothing's ready. They showed me the fabric. It was not the fabric. I'm like, what have you been doing for the past 7 months? Like, what's going on? So I left and I texted them and I was like, I'll show the photo right here. I was like, I'm very like concerned. My wedding is in 1 month and like, I thought that the dress would be done by now. Like, can you please send me updates while I'm back in Hawaii? And then that's when like, I was like stressed out and they texted me back and they were like being very reassuring. They're like, we'll get it done. Like, I'll send you updates. And so that way you don't have like wedding jitters and yada, yada, yada. So every time I reached out to them and I was like, hey, like, how's the dress coming along? Like, how's it going? They're just like, oh, good. It's going well. I can't wait for you to see it. And in my head, I'm like, okay, well, at least they're saying that. And like, I'm seeing on their Instagram that they're finishing other dresses. So it's not like this person is a scammer. Like, I see that they're posting other stuff. Like, they're busy. But I'm like, this is a wedding dress. Also, I have a month before my wedding. Everyone's asking me, how's your dress? Like, are you excited? Like, do you love your dress? And I'm over here like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. So my wedding was October 18th. I flew in like a week early, and that's when supposedly, that was supposed to be my last fitting. So like, it should have been done. I get there, and I kid you not, this is what it looks like. Like, I'm like so flabbergasted. I was like, Mom, take a picture of this. Like, now, like, this is what I did. Like, this is what I get for trying to support a small local business that, like, anyways, yeah, it's my fault. Like, talking about it now, realizing it, I'm like putting everything together and I'm like, wow, like, I should have seen the signs earlier. But it was like, I trusted someone that I knew for a while, and like, I followed them on Instagram. I've seen their work, and yeah. So my mom was like, this needs to be done. Like, this needs to be finished. And this person was like, oh, I can assure you it'll be done. I have no other priorities. Like, this dress will be done. So they tell me that the dress will be ready on 10/16, and keep in mind 10/18 is the wedding. So that day is actually the day of my rehearsal. We had the rehearsal 2 days in advance. And so yeah, like, it was just crazy, like, everything, like, talking about it, I'm like, this is actually insane. So I'm at the rehearsal and it's just going amazing. I'm seeing my family and my friends, and I get a text message right when it's ending, and they say, can you pick it up tomorrow, the day before your wedding, because I'm moving my apartment around? And at that point, I lost it. I was like, you're joking right now. So I responded, I was like, you've had since February to make this dress. Like, at this point, I want a refund. Like, I can't even do it. And they were going, I'm sorry, like, it's an emergency. I'm not saying it's not done. I'm just saying, can you move it to tomorrow? And after that, I just knew he was bullcrapping me. Like, I should have known before, but yeah, this is what I get. And so that very next day, I went to David's Bridal and I got this dress. So I only had 3 dresses to choose from. And luckily, that store was going out of business, and so I got the dress for like 60% off, which was a huge blessing. And so as I was at David's bridal, the person FaceTimes me after I said like I'm getting a refund, and I was like, you know what, for the heck of it, let's just see what it looks like, because the person FaceTimes me and only the skirt is finished. So I was like, yep, guys, let's get a dress here, wrap it up, let's go. So then the person quickly sewn together the entire dress, and it was just what it looked like. And that was a story of how I had to pick a new dress the day before my wedding. This showed me trust your gut, don't be so gullible, and don't believe everybody, okay? But honestly, the wedding was just so amazing, and it topped every single thing that could have happened to me. So I'm just so grateful that I was surrounded by my friends and my family at the end of the day. But this literally drained me. Yeah, so thanks for watching.
Okay, get ready with me while I also tell you guys how I got a tattoo without telling my parents. Okay, so before I start, I just want to say sorry in advance. I'm not really good at telling stories, so just bear with me. And also, for those of you who know, or my close friends that know, yes, I did get a tattoo. I do have a tattoo right here. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have seen it or know from my videos, or if you know me, you know I have a tattoo or whatever. But I also did my nose piercing by myself without my parents' permission, my belly piercing, and that can be 2 other story times or whatever for next time, but let's get into it. Oh, and before I start, I just want to say my tattoo, my first tattoo, I did get it with my parents' permission, so they know. And second of all, they already know about my tattoo already, so that's why I'm making this video, but I'm still iffy if I should post it, because obviously I'm not. Never mind. Okay, I don't even know where to start, but let's just say one day. Okay, so first of all, I've been wanting to get a second tattoo for the longest, and obviously my parents were obviously not okay with it and not on the same boat as me, and they were just like, wait till you're 18, wait till you're 18. I have like 2 more months, I believe, till I'm 18, so okay, anyways, and I just couldn't wait. I was just getting that urge, you know, when you get that feeling like you want something and you really like want to do it, and like, you know, if you know, you know, if you don't, then oh well. Anyway, so I was like, I want a tattoo, and like I want a tattoo, and I've been begging them, and they're just like, no, no, no. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna take this into my own hands then, like, girl. Anyways, so I messaged the tattoo artist, and also he's like professional or whatever, so it's not gonna get infected, da, da, da. So in case I get people like coming at me for that too, like, no, he's good, really good. Anyway, so I messaged him, like, you know, we're messaging back and forth, what's good, what I want, like this and that, you know, if you know, you know. Okay, so he's like, we like set a date kinda ish, not really. He was just not really answering, so I was like, okay, maybe I'm just not gonna get it. I guess I'm just gonna have to wait till I'm 18. Oh my gosh, I have like gel flakes, disgusting. Okay, whatever. And I was like, I'm not gonna get it, I'm just gonna wait till I'm 18, I guess. And then the date, I remember the date, it was Friday. I know it was a Friday, I'm not sure, it was July 17th, I don't know. Just, I know it was like 2 or 3 days before we were gonna go on a cruise, keep that in mind. And the cruise was the 21st, I'm not really good at whatever, I'm not gonna go back to the calendar. So he texted me the date on Friday in the morning. He's like, I have this spot available, this and that. And mind you, it's not a big tattoo, so like, I got it done like less than an hour. And then he was like, you can come in this time, dun dun, whatever, whatever. And I was kind of scared. I was like, should I do it? I was just like thinking about it, like, yes, no, I don't know, like, this is like actually for real and it's gonna stay on me forever. And I know what I got, like, I've been wanting it for a long time, so, and I don't regret it or nothing. So then he texted me, sorry if I'm going off context, but he texted me that day, you can come in this time. I'm like, okay. And I'm just panicking kind of, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I reply, yes, I'll be there, whatever, whatever, send me the location. I get there. Okay, I get there and we're just discussing like what I want, and like just waiting him getting ready to do it. And then I get it, right, it's on me now, whatever. I go home, day's normal, and I didn't tell no one. Oh, before this, I didn't tell my parents when my dad was at work. My mom was also doing her work, and my sister knew. I know my mom's gonna watch this, so sorry. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go, like, whatever, whatever, don't say anything. Anyway, I didn't know where I was at. And I don't think it was too suspicious because I usually go out the house without telling them where I'm going. I don't go nowhere bad, but like it's just a habit of mine, which is not good, but getting better, not really. So they didn't like suspect anything. Okay, anyways, I got it. The day goes by, nothing happens. The 2 days go by or 3 days before the cruise, and we're on the cruise, and my plan was to tell them, okay, on the cruise I'm gonna tell them that I got it, because they shouldn't be that mad because we're on vacation, right? What are they gonna do about it? We're on a boat. They're not gonna throw me off or anything. Because with my belly piercing, I did that too. I got it without their permission, and I told them on the cruise last year when we went on the cruise again. Okay, so I think that cruise was like 4 or 5 days. I don't even remember. But whenever we got off of Mexico, I wanted to get a tattoo there too because I wasn't whatever. Okay, and I didn't anyways. And then we were like walking back to the boat, like to get back on the ships, because like whatever. And then like we were walking back. I had my hair down because I have it's right here. I had it right here, and I've been wanting to get in that spot and what it says obviously there for a while. Okay, so it was like low-key windy and my hair blows back, and I was just like playing with it, just like, you know, just trying to play it off. And then my mom sees it, and then she was just staring at me, and then she like doesn't grab me, she just like pulls my hair back, and she's like, what's that? And I was like, oh, a tattoo. And she's like, you just got that done right now, huh? Because like in Mexico, you know, it's like different stuff, you can get it done and whatever, it doesn't matter your age. And this one I did get my tattoo done in Mexico. And she's like, you got it done right now, huh? Because in Mexico, me, my sister, my tío, we separated from my mom and my dad because we wanted to go to somewhere else and they want to go somewhere else. But that's that. And then she's like, you got it here, huh? And I was like, no. And she's like, when'd you get it? I was like, oh, like a while ago. She wasn't as mad as I expected her to be. And mind you, my tío and my sister already knew. I told them, and they thought I was joking. Like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this tattoo, da da da. And they're like, no, you're not, you know, you're not. And I was like, okay, bet. So now I have to get it. So anyways, she was just asking me so much questions. She was like, when did you get that done? Like, she was saying it was ugly. Maybe because she was mad at the moment, because now she doesn't care. And, like, she's whatever about it. Well, she doesn't mind, but at the moment she was mad, obviously. And she was like, what does that even mean? What does it say? Why red? And I was like, well, and I was just telling her, and then she's like, you're gonna, she was just telling me a bunch of stuff like a Mexican mom would, but not as bad as I thought. And she was just like, well, make sure your dad doesn't see it, he's gonna get so mad at you, da da da. And I was like, I was kind of scared because she was like, he's gonna be so mad at you. And I was like, oh. Okay, and I was just like panicking, and that day, that's all she said. And I was just like, frick, bro. And I was like, I should just wait. I was lucky just regretting everything. I was like, I should just wait till I'm 18, but I want to get another tattoo when I'm 18 already. Like, hello? And I was just like, oh my gosh, and the day went by. Like, I think she wasn't mad because we were on Mexico vacation. Like, hello? And it was so hard for me because I literally, like, always have my hair up, like, whatever. I'm not used to having it down because I am, just if it's done, because my hair's like wavy, straight, frizzy. I don't know what the flip it is, but let me try to hurry up because okay, so next day, it was like day at sea or whatever. I just got done working out, and oh, is this recording? Oh yeah, I just got done working out and I'm already eating breakfast. Mind you, my parents, they just woke up and they're eating breakfast. It's them and my little sister, and it was me, my sister, and my tío at another table because we just got done working out. And then I was going get sauce. I don't remember what I was eating. I was going to get sauce, and I turn around and I hear my mom's name, like Melanie, and I look-key got scared because I had my hair up, and like those days I was like cautious because, you know. And she turns around and I like start pulling my hair down because my dad was right next to her. And I was pulling my hair down and everything. I thought I was being slick with it. And my mom was like, why are you pulling your hair down? And I like give her a look like, my dad, like what the frick? And then she was just like, he already knows. And I was like, and he just like walks off. He was like, it looked like he was upset. And I was like, bro, like I thought she didn't tell him because, like, I don't know. But she did. And then like, and I just walked away. They walked away and I walked away, and I was like, ugh. And and she was just laughing at me like embarrassment, and I was just like, and then later I see him again, we meet up, and then he was like, don't be getting tattoos, don't be doing that behind my back, like this and that, and just getting me in trouble, but not as bad as I expected. And I was like, okay, sorry. And he's like, I don't like when it gets you in trouble and like this and that. And I just wanted to say that also my mom and dad do have tattoos, and my dad did get them at 16 and 17, so don't come at me, please. I'm not saying come at my dad or whatever, but anyways, but my dad would always say, if you're gonna get a tattoo, make sure you know what you want and you go to a professional, because it's gonna stay on you forever, and I stand by that. So that's why I got my tattoos, and they do have a meaning, and I know they're gonna stay on me forever, and I don't regret nothing. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry if this was not the outcome of the story you expected, but that was my experience. I just want to share that on here.
Get ready with me for dinner and drinks while I tell you a story time on how I almost went to jail. The first night my crazy side came out with my ex. I did my eyebrows off camera, but you know when you're so heated and you're at work ready to go because you're arguing with your partner? That was me. So I asked my boss, could I leave early? And she told me yeah, because I told her what's going on. She know. So I went home and I packed all this man's clothes. I'm talking about socks, drawers, anything he had in my house. I was living with my parents at the time, but I packed all his stuff and went and dropped it off on his daddy's porch. And I did that because this man was not trying to conversate with me at all. He blocked me on the phone, turned around and blocked me on Instagram. I DM him, I inbox him, I messaged him on every app that we had. I messaged him, and he blocked me. So, being blocked and ignored, it triggers me. And especially when you're my partner, like, I've never been through something like that. Like, nobody ever just turned around and blocked me like that on everything. So, it pissed me off. So, since I couldn't get a hold of him, I was like, you know what? His homeboy has a sister. Never talked to her a day in my life. So, anyways, I messaged her. I found her on Instagram, and I messaged her. And I'm like, hey, can you tell so-and-so if he can come outside and talk to me? I'm not trying to disrespect your house or anything. That's all I said. This girl got a little smart with me. Why? I don't know. But she did. And yeah. She definitely, what they be saying? She definitely put the icing on the cake for me after that. She was like, girl, don't bring all that BS over here and all that drama. Baby, I asked a question. Who said I was bringing drama anywhere? All I asked was for you to send this man outside. That's it. I didn't ask for all the extra. Now she done pissed me off and triggered me even more. So, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, did this girl really just tell me that? So I felt like she was trying to sit there and protect the man. So I was like, damn, are you fucking him or something? Cause I mean, he loved being over there. He was always over there, like damn near every day. So I'm like, damn, are you fucking him or what? I'm just being funny. I just want to know. Tell me, let me know right now. Y'all know what this girl said? She said, do you want me to? Laugh my ass off. Boom. I was like, what do you want to do? So what you want to do? Because I can pull up right now. This girl said, laugh my ass off. You don't even know where I live. I'm about to find out. So I started reminiscing. I dropped him off one time with his friend, but his friend was walking. So I just dropped him off on the street. Never been to their house. I don't know where they live. I don't know anything. So I started reminiscing and thinking about the street. I didn't even drop him off like on the street. I dropped him off like on the main road where you turn down multiple streets or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just drive down these streets until I see his car, because I know his license plate. Girl, while I drive down this street, boom, there's his car and license plate. Who don't know where you live? Baby, I'm outside. I text this girl. I said, bitch, I'm outside. What was it? Crickets. When I tell y'all this girl did not come off that porch, I mean that. Baby, I'm one deep. I'm by myself. I hop out my car so fast, bro. I'm standing in the middle of the street. In the middle of the street in front of their house. I'm not on their property or nothing, but I'm in the middle of the street. My car door is wide open, like my driver door. I literally hopped out so fast, because where's all that energy at? Their mama came outside, the friend, the sister's friend, the homeboy, and my nigga. My nigga still never came outside to me. Never. He stayed in the doorway the whole time. Spooked. He was the tallest one, so he's standing there like eyes this goddamn big. He's just like, yeah, nigga, you never see me like this, and I never even see myself like this, but y'all done pissed me off today. So I called my cousin them just in case, because she has her friend with her. So boom, my cousins pulled up quick. She lived like 2 blocks down. So they down the street in the car waiting, watching the laws, making sure no laws pull up, because mind you, this neighborhood that they live in is very rich, like a rich white neighborhood. It's a white neighborhood. So of course, if you see somebody, a black person coming over there acting a fool, you know some shit finna go down. So I seen their neighbor next door looking at her window, and then the neighbor behind me, remind you, I'm standing in the middle of the street facing their house. The neighbors behind me, I seen a light go off. I turned around, they cut their porch light off. At this point, everybody's watching me, because I'm telling you, when I got out that car, I left the car on and everything. I got out and I was like, bring your mother effing ass to the street. I'm finna F you up, and I'm just going off. Like, I'm mad. Can't nobody calm me down at this point. So boom, my cousin calls me. She's like, Ash, there's a law coming. Take off. I'm like, oh shit. Mind you, I'm by myself. So I went and hopped in my car. I burned off all the way down the street, and you know what I was doing? Holding my horn. I held my horn down the whole way down to the motherfucking stop sign. And after that, he never did that shit again. I'm a very nice, genuine person, but please don't piss me off. Don't. That is the worst mistake you could ever make. At least that pissed off, because when I'm that pissed off, shaking, I cannot calm down. Like, bro, I will be mad to the next shit, probably the next day too, for me to calm down. So yeah, I'm not just gonna bring drama. I'm gonna bring all the smoke. Okay, I'm bringing all the smoke behind my respect. I don't give a fuck how many of you there is. Okay, so let me know if y'all want more story times, because I do got some shit to say. Now, oh my gosh, I've been through some things with these niggas in relationships, so let me know. I don't know what I'm wearing yet. This is how I'm keeping my hair. It's just down curly, but I don't know what I want to wear yet. I'm fixing to look right now. Here's the outfit, besties. I'm wearing these tan sandals. I have gold ones, but I feel like I wear them too much, so they still match. Thank y'all for watching.
If you ever wake up feeling a little too straight, all you gotta do is go to your local coffee shop, get an iced oat lavender latte. Does the trick. I'm tasting the rainbows immediately.
Story time on how I got chased around in Big W by undercover security because they thought that I was stealing. And little disclaimer, I was not fucking stealing. And like, since it's kind of like a long story time, you can just listen to this while you're doing something. You could be, I don't know, doing your makeup, taking off your makeup, eating, doing whatever. This is my little mirror, so just ignore it if you can just see it in the corner because I have nothing else to use. So basically this was like 1 or 2 years ago. I just went to Big W, right, with my dad because I needed like, I think I needed like makeup or whatever. And so I was just in Big W, and then my dad just, I don't know, he was doing his own thing, and then I just went off to find the shit that I needed, right? So I was in the makeup aisle, and I got like, I specifically remember that I needed BB cream or whatever, because at the time, like, I didn't know how to do makeup, okay, and BB cream is not my thing, but like lots of people, like, I just had it on my For You page, so I thought that would be good. Anyways, so yeah, I was just walking around finding the shit I needed. I grabbed the BB cream, and then I was just walking around the aisles trying to find my dad. Couldn't find him, called him, he didn't pick up. He literally does not pick up my calls for some reason. I walked to the toy section because I was bored. I love going to the toy section and just playing with shit that I find. So yeah, I was just at the toy section, and I called my dad again, and he finally picked up, and I was like, hey dad, I found the stuff I needed and I'm gonna come find you. Where are you? And he was like, oh, I'm just near the front where the cashier things are. And I was just like, oh, okay, I'm coming. Oh, and I forgot to say this, but before I left the toy section place to find my dad, I decided to leave the BB cream behind on one of the toy aisles. It was one with like dinosaur toys, I remember that. And like, I left it behind because it was way too fucking expensive. So yeah, and I left to find my dad. And so I'm walking around, I get lost, right? And like, I'm literally exploring the whole place. Like, I don't know where I am. And then I noticed that this one dude is following me around and starting to creep me out. And I thought it was just a coincidence because I kept seeing him in every single like aisle I was in. But no, this dude, he was like following me around for like 10 minutes. And keep in mind, he was like a 40-year-old man, and I was extremely uncomfortable, and I was like, what the fuck? So I decided to pick up my pace, and I was just like, okay, it's probably just some weirdo. And yeah, so by now this dude has been following me for like ages. And hold on guys, I can't talk. Okay, so I already picked up my pace, right? This dude has still been following me, and I was like fed up with this. So I turned around, and this dude was like right on my ass. So I was like, fuck off. I was yelling at this dude. I was like, get the fuck away from me, stop following me. And I started running, right? This dude started fucking chasing me. Like, I was like bolting through every single aisle. Like, I was like juking him, I swear. Like, he kept getting lost, but he kept finding me. Like, and I was like, what the fuck? What is wrong with this dude? Anyways, so I'm running, I'm yelling at this dude to fuck off, and this fully grown man is still fucking chasing me around, and I don't know what to do. I put my phone in my bag, so I couldn't exactly call my dad, and I was like getting chased, so I don't really have time to take my bag off my shoulders and whip out my phone to call my dad. So I was just running around trying to find him. I ran into him, so I was like, Dad, my dad doesn't really speak, like, his English is alright, but like, it's not that good. So I was speaking to him in like our language, I don't know what it's called, but yeah. And I was like, hey dad, this dude is chasing me, and I don't know what to do, and like, I don't know why he's chasing me. So my dad was like, oh, okay. So now this dude catches up with us, but this time he's with some old lady. So I don't know where she came from. I don't know what she wanted, but yeah. And he said, he was like, oh, is this your dad? And I was like, yes, this is my dad. And then he started talking to my dad, and he was like, well, so your daughter was stealing and we need to check her bags. What? So obviously my dad was like, okay, sure, because he was like, yeah, I know my daughter wouldn't steal, blah blah blah. So I put down my bag. I had my normal bag and I had my makeup bag inside of it, so that might have been like a bit suspicious. So yeah, they poured all my shit out on the ground. Like, at least have some, I don't know, respect. I don't know what the word is, I forgot. Like, at least have some, you know, respect or whatever for my property, my belongings. They dumped that shit all out on the floor, and my makeup stuff. I could tell that they were like suspicious about my makeup. But like, what do you expect, bro? It's like a little makeup bag. It has my makeup in it. It's all unpackaged, all used. Like, hello? Like, I did not steal it, okay? Calm your farm. Like, the evidence is all, like, there is no evidence against me. So anyways, this dude is fucking defeated. And he's just like, oh, well, so I saw you were holding a makeup thing. And I saw you come out of an aisle. And you didn't have it in your hand. So you were stealing. Where'd you put it? Where is it? And I was like, I don't have it. I didn't steal anything. And they're like, where'd you put it then? And I was thinking, I was like, oh, it was probably the BB cream. And I was like, oh, I left that behind because it was too expensive and I put it in one of the aisles. And they're like, okay, show me. So I was like, okay. So the lady followed me there. She was following me. And then I went to the dinosaur aisle, picked up the BB cream and came back. And she was following me the whole time. And I got there and I showed them. I was like, here. The dude looked at me and looked at the lady. And do you want to know what this fucking lady said? This bitch had the I had to search up the word because I forgot. But this bitch had the audacity to say, I didn't see her take it. I didn't see her get it. She probably took it out of her pants. What? Your job was to fucking follow. Oops, it cut off. But your job was to fucking follow me and make sure that I got it from the aisle and that I wasn't lying. You can't even do your fucking job properly. And you're like wrongly accusing people of stealing when they're not fucking stealing. You have no proof against me. You're accusing me of shit. You can't even back up yourself. You can't do your job properly. What is going on in your brain? What justifies like the shit that you're doing? Like, genuinely, what is wrong in your fucking mind? Don't piss me off. Anyways, so I'm like, I say to this dude, I literally took it out from the aisle that I left it in. I didn't take it from my pocket. And I was like so like shocked at like the confidence in this lady's the confidence that this lady had to say that shit. Like, genuine, like, are you kidding me? Obviously, my dad believed me over them. And then the guy was just like, oh, well, next time, don't steal, because we've had a lot of teenagers stealing makeup in our store, so we're just making sure. And we're undercover, like, security guards, and they pulled out this fucking security tag, like, from their shirt, and it looked really stupid. Obviously, I didn't fucking believe them, but, like, I'm not trusting you after all that shit you just pulled. And my dad was, like, annoyed at them as well. So me and my dad left, and my dad was like, oh, you should, like, I don't know, talk to, like, the employees about it. And I was just like, I don't know, like, I can't be fucked right now, like, I'm so done with this place. But I did anyways. I went to, like, the person at the front of the store, you know, like, when you enter, and I was just like, hey, do you guys have, like, undercover security? And she was like, yeah, why? And I was just like, oh, because they thought I was stealing, and they were following me around the whole time, and they were accusing me of stealing when I wasn't. And they were like, oh, do you want to talk to the manager about it? What do you want us to do? And then, like, I was just so done with this. I didn't want anything to do with them, so I was just like, no, I'm just gonna leave. But yeah, so I left, and then I never fucking came back again. Actually, I did, like, 2 or 3 times, but I avoided it, like, at any cost. And whenever I go there, I'm just so, like, cautious. because like that like genuinely like was one of the worst experiences in my life. Not because it was like traumatizing or anything, it just really pissed me off, and it was also kind of traumatizing. So yeah, that's it. That was kind of like a makeup tutorial in its own way, but it also wasn't. If you like my like little story time, I can post more if you want. I just don't know if it was enjoyable or entertaining, but like, yeah, I have another story on how I got followed around because the employees thought that I was stealing. But that's for another time, maybe. Do I just look like I'd steal? Like, do I look like the type? Okay.
I just overheard a girl in line at Starbucks talking on the phone, and she goes, "Babe, brain-eating bacteria would starve to death inside that man's head."
Some girl tried to jump me over a bus seat. Okay, story time of how some girl tried to jump me in front of the Ross parking lot over a bus seat. First, what had happened was I had this girl in my class, and I didn't even know her. Like I don't know her. I don't know why she would have a problem. Like, I never done nothing to her. But basically, one day I was riding with my friend's bus home, and she had told me while we were getting on, and she says, like, this girl has been sitting in my assigned seat, and it's really pissing me off, and she's been a bitch about it and won't get up. So as a good friend, I go up to her, and I'm like, yo, that's my friend's seat. Like, can you get up? And she's like, no. And then I'm like, why? There's, like, plenty of other seats, and you're sitting in the seat that's assigned to her. And this girl said, like, this girl wants to be messy. She's like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, just get up. Shit. Just, guys, there's too much lotion I'm wiping. Like, just get the fuck out of her seat. Like, what the hell? But yeah, she doesn't. And I'm like, dude, seriously, get up. Like, get the fuck up. And she's like, she said, make me. I said, girl, I don't want to make you get out of a seat. You can bring your fat ass over here. I didn't say that because I was a scared little girl. Well, I don't know. But I just ended up sitting in another seat because I'm not wasting my time on her. And then when the bus takes us home, I get to my friend's house, and I get a text in a group chat with this one girl that I knew, and then my friend that I was with, and the girl that I knew was trying to like set us up to fight. She was like, hey, let's call her Vanessa. She's like, hey, Vanessa wants to fight. And I'm like, why? And she's like, yo, what the fuck is your problem? She texts on there. I'm like, I don't have one. What's the problem with you in that damn seat? And then I don't know, she like totally like changed the story and like stopped talking about what would happen, like what had happened about the seat, and she just started cussing me out or whatever. And then she's like, yo, I want to fight. What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna pull up or what? And then I'm like, girl, I'm not fighting you over a bus seat. Like, it's 2026. This is not back during segregation times. Like, what? I'm not fighting over a bus seat. But yeah, basically I told her, like, I'm not fighting you over that. That's ridiculous. Like, it's, like, should not even be a problem. And then she's just, like, getting upset about it. Now she's mad that I won't fight her. So she's like, okay, I'll pull up on you then. I'm like, girl, I'm not fighting you over a bus seat. Sit down. Go to sleep. Like, mind you, this is, like, 2 years ago. It's, like, not even a thing now. But it was a big thing. It happened, like, all year round. But somehow she found where I was at. I was at my friend's house, and my friend lives by like a Ross and a Five Below, by where I live, and that's the place where people would go and hang out and walk around and go shopping. But I also went with this other girl that used to be best friends with my best friend, and then her best friend. So there was me, my best friend, and then this girl and her best friend, and we all went up to Ross and we went shopping and I was telling them about it. And for some reason, I'm not sure if they told the girl where I was, but somehow she knew where I was. And then she's like, yo, I'm coming. I'm like, what do you mean you're coming? So she gets there. I see her start walking there, and I walk into the Ross because I'm like, I'm not about to get myself killed over a bus seat. Like, what? So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go inside. I pretend like I'm shopping, even though I'm literally scared. Like, and then she goes, she brings her sister in. I don't know why she had to bring her sister into this. Yeah, she brings her sister in. And then she comes up to me and she's like, what the fuck are you doing with my sister? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, why are you treating her like that? You're being a bitch. Like, what the fuck happened? So I explained to her, yo, your pussy ass sister is scared over a bus seat. Not scared, she's mad over a bus seat. And then she's like, you need to leave her alone. Like, stop cussing her out. I'm like, girl, oops, wrong brush. If someone wanted to fight you over a bus seat, you'd be mad too, because that's just ridiculous. But yeah, basically, and then some old lady like comes up to us, and then she's like, are you girls okay? And then I'm like, no, this girl's outside trying to fight me. And she's like, okay, I'll call somebody. And then the lady goes up to the front desk and said, this girl is coming inside and harassing me because her older sister has come in like 2 times now. She's like going back out, going back in, talking with her sister, coming back in. And yeah, she like goes and tells, and they send the police. I don't know why. It wasn't that deep. But then I ended up going outside, and I'm like, you know what? Let's see what the fuck her problem is. Let's see if she'll do it or not. So I go outside. Oh my gosh, nobody's gonna tell me there's lotion on my nose ring. So I was like, let's see if she's gonna do it. So I'll go outside. And mind you, she doesn't even come up to me. I have to go up to her. I'm like, yo, what's your problem? And then she's basically just like cussing me out. She's saying, why you gotta be such a bitch and shit. Literally, little ass girl just cussing me out, random stuff that doesn't even matter to me. And then she had ended up getting her sister to do the talking because she didn't know what to say. And she was just standing there, like scared, I guess. So yeah, I call my mom because I know my mom don't play, and my sister. So they pull up. My mom, her fuck ass fitting fan, she pulls up. It goes, Arr! And then my sister jumps out of the car before it had even started. And at this time, the girl's mom is here too. So basically, it's a 3v3. Me versus Vanessa, and then my mom versus her mom, and then my sister versus her sister. So we all just started cussing each other out. We all just started doing all that. And then none of them would swing. So I'm like, okay, so what is this about then? If you're not even gonna fight, you say you wanted to fight, so what are we doing? And she basically just stood there, and mind you, this girl turned around and started crying. What the fuck are you crying about? Bitch, this was your idea. So do it. So do it, pussy. And she never ended up doing it. And I'm like, she's over there crying now? What the fuck? And now they're acting like it was something that I did. But the cops had ended up coming and separating us. And my mom was livid. She like almost swung at her mom like 2 times before a cop separated her. And then basically after this, we went back to school. And somehow the school had learned about it. And like, they call me down and they're like, what's happened? So I explained the story. And I'm like, she said I'm on site because after she texted me, she's like, you're on site. I'm like, you could have taken your chances a minute ago. But yeah, she's like, you're on site. So I go and I tell them because that, like, they were asking me like what had happened. So I told them and they barely did anything about it. But every time I had ended up like getting in arguments or fights at school, they like take the side of the other girls because my principal didn't like me because I got into too many like fights or whatever. But yeah, then one day we had a meeting with a police officer and both of the 2 principals, the 2 head principals at our school, just trying to figure out a way that we can get to know each other, maybe be friends or just like be cool with each other. I'm like, I hope you know, bitch, I'm never gonna be cool with you. You just like wasted a whole day out of my life to revolve yourself around a bus seat. But yeah, we ended up just having a talk with the school. And I think that's it. Okay, wait, I won't be able to talk for a second. Okay, let's see what baked under this. Oh boy. Okay, that's the end of the story, guys. She never ended up jumping me over the bus seat. Her attempt had failed. But let me know if you guys have any other story ideas or if you guys want to send me a story. Okay, bye y'all.
Now that I have her blocked on this account, I can finally talk about this. I've been wanting to tell this story time for years, but I haven't been able to because she's always been following me on my accounts in the past. Her and I do not really have beef anymore. I just would never be friends with her again. We used to be best friends in high school, and I'm going to tell you what she did. I could honestly tell you so many different stories about us in high school, but I'm going to tell you about the one that it was like the straw that broke the camel's back and the reason why we're not friends today. So just to kind of set the scene, I was in massage school and I was actually about to graduate, and I was going to my pinning ceremony with my boyfriend at the time. Best friend, we're gonna call her Anna. Anna had just gotten her boobs done and she was very loud about it. Like, she was not shy to tell you. She was going to come to my pinning ceremony, but she was still kind of under the weather. She was still kind of recovering from surgery. So my boyfriend at the time and Anna were friends. We were all a part of the same friend group. They were friends on Snapchat. Me and my boyfriend are sitting at a table at my pinning ceremony, and we were all just kind of like talking. It hadn't started yet, so we were on our phones. I get a Snapchat from Anna, and it's a picture. She's like, do they look okay, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh yeah, girl. My boyfriend was texting his guy friends. He shows me his phone to show me like a funny meme or something, I can't remember. And I see a Snapchat pop up from Anna. At the time, I really didn't think anything of it because we were all a part of the same friend group. We all talked all the time. And it wasn't weird for Anna to snap my boyfriend, especially if she was snapping me at the same time. So I say to my boyfriend after I see that snap come in, I'm like, oh, Anna snapped you. He kind of like takes the phone and he's not trying to hide it. So I really don't think that he expected anything crazy. And so I was just looking just to see. He opens up the snap and it's not the same picture that she sent to me. It's clearly a different picture. But she says, do they look okay? With a winky face. I could tell my boyfriend felt so uncomfortable. He clicked off of it real quick and he just was like this. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to say. He just like looked at me like this. My pinning ceremony was about to start. Like, I was not trying to get upset at my pinning ceremony. I went outside and I called Anna and I was like, why are you? And she was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to send that to him, blah, 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 blah. I go back inside and my boyfriend is still just like so freaked out. He was like, I don't want to make you even more mad, but she sent me another picture through my text messages. So yeah, her and I are not friends. If we see each other in town, we kind of wave, but like that was the end of our friendship. I can't even remember what happened after that. You seriously can't trust anybody. You really can't. Not even your best friends.